What's up, boys and girls? Happy Friday. Welcome to tonight's... It's not, it's the map. Welcome to tonight's live stream. How's everybody doing today? All right, let's get... All right, let's see this chat here. You guys ready to look at all the 71 relics and see just how good or how bad they are? Have some personal takeaways, but I'm not going to be doing all this stuff alone. All right, so before we bring on the guests, what's up? See who's in the house right here. We got some letters that I cannot read because it's not in my native language. I was looking for a similar video just yesterday and didn't find anything useful. There is a guide for all things Middle Earth. Shout out to all things Middle Earth. Hope you come back to play with us, my friend. Hope you're well. And then not all artifacts. Tirgon, hi. I'm sorry, my friend, you can't make it. I had to push. You know, it's Fridays is the best day, but also from time to time, there's like little commitments throughout the day that I have to run around. So I had to push our normal broadcasting time to now. Yes, stuff. You might not. I think it'll be faster than doing commanders for sure. Noxy, bonjour. Tactician, what's up? Eomer. I don't. You're gonna have to send me an audio just how I read your name. I've been playing with this dude for what, 2.5 years, and I still catch myself saying it wrong. What's up, Bohica Law? Welcome. Hope you guys are doing so well. All right. Couple of things before I just bring in the guests. Don't forget, hit the like button if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and invite your friends, share the video with your teammates. All right, let's pull up. That's not what I want. I want this one right here. All right, let's see here. All right, let's unmute everybody. You guys might know some of these. We got a new guest today.
He'll join, but his service is really bad.
All right, guys, everybody can hear y'all now. Welcome.
Yep.
You got the windows up this week now. You left them out last week.
I did.
Little bubbles, yeah. You didn't. I don't think so.
All right. Scar
was just regaling us on her, infinite knowledge about all things build-wise in this game, and how it's one of the top 2 experts. I mean, basically a PhD in builds and relics, and how she's going to blow everyone away with her.
Yeah.
Experience and wisdom on all of these infinite insights she has to offer for the community to help.
How about I judge all of the relics today on how cute they are?
Oh, that'd be a good. That's a good way right there.
That's perfect.
That's my rating. You're welcome.
Yeah, so you need to add one more category, I guess. You take out the D. You don't need D. Just bad is good, and then put in one for looks.
I mean, no, actually, this is wait, the one we're seeing right now. Yeah, that's the one I redid today. Yep. All right, we can do this one
take
here.
Out D and make it. I don't know what the word is. Looks or beautiful.
Cute.
Shit. What's up, everybody out there in the Lord of the Rings Rise to War community? Good to see you guys again.
We need a nice little music here.
That intro is so good, man. Every time I see it, it takes me back to when we were all Evo RP, and it was just a great time. And
definitely,
the community is so much bigger, and it's fun times, man.
Fun times. Oof. Sucks. I don't know. There's like most of you guys know this is basically the only game I really play. So last 3 years being so ingrained with the community and the teams that I've played through, thinking back in 1.0 times definitely hurts. It's just weird. But
I remember when I found you, when I first found you and stumbled upon you. You were just a wee little lad, little baby Jesus streamer back then.
Yeah, shout out to Jax. Actually, it was Jax that got us to to really push this. It is true. I remember Jax sending me. I mean, we can go back in the chat here. He reached out and we hopped on a call for I don't know for like an hour or something, and we're just talking about like the ideas for the game, the community, and like we aligned pretty well at the time. We're like, it feels like we both want to do the same thing, take it to the same way. So like let's do this together.
Yeah.
And that was going so smooth, and then the devs going ahead us with 2.0.
It was fun, I enjoy building the foundations of something, and trying to figure out what is the right way to make something great. I enjoy that in life. Generally, it's fun.
All right, so just introduce. We got G Unit in the house tonight again. I'm gonna say hi really quick. What's up? There you go.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well.
We got Jax. He's with me here every week.
Where'd the bubbles go? The bubbles disappeared again.
Oh, there you go. I mean, let's put it up here. I think I put it in the different order. So let me bring in the bubbles. Bubbles are back now. All right, so we also got Jax Scar is with us.
Yeah.
And we have a newcomer today. We got Sam Pick 93.
Hey guys, how's it going?
There we go.
Sam just told me before we were live with you that he's coming back to use next season, I guess. And
yes, sir.
He's bringing my boy Task Adun.
Yes.
That's gonna be fun.
That is gonna be fun. It is gonna be real fun. So
now we just we gotta get old Iron Cell, and we gotta get Pawpaw over here with us, and then we'll be good.
Yeah. Let's go. Well, as you guys can see in the background, everything's set up. I worked through. Let's see here. Let's look through this right here. So I worked through all the relics today. Got all the images, put them nice and little pretty for you guys to see all the updated relics. And right behind me as well, you can see that we have my game in the back here in portrait mode. That way we can just kind of quick glance through the skills for both you guys and us. Have a quick look at this. All right. So let's get going. We have 2 hours, less than an hour and 45 minutes now to get through all 71 relics in the game. So, yo, shout out! Whoa! Before we get going, though, wait. We got a new member in the channel here, Susan Dumas. Let's go, Hobbit supporter. I appreciate it, Susan. Anything and everything helps, continue doing what we're doing here. So I appreciate that. So we got Law in the house here. We got half of that buenas noches. My Spanish is not as good. Almanai, how you doing, my friend? Is there a tier for actively makes your commander worse? Shout out to Halfadar, guys, in the chat here. He's the Spanish content creator for Rise to War. So huge shout out to him.
Yeah. Half Daner, I watched your last video. I didn't understand it because it was live, but I did say hi in the chat. I don't know if you saw it or not, but what's up, man? Good to see you. My boy Law in here finally. I don't know where he been at. He been running amok on the street. He finally come back to the house here. That's good.
We got L Dog from Lame in the house as well.
Sweet.
And Brinkman, do you think refining relics is more important than strengthening relics? That depends. Some relics don't impact as much. Yeah, some relics you really just want the stats, more command or more, commander attack or unit defense. We'll go over each one of these. There are some that are really, really powerful. So we'll talk about each one of them. Running amok is what I do best. All right, let's go. All right, guys. So let's do this just like last week. Let me see. Let me pull up. Give me a second. Pull up my Discord over here so I can make sure I can see everybody that's hopping on. Here we go. Pull my Discord over here.
Is there a tier for actively makes your commander worse? That's great.
All right, so we got another guest coming on. So let me just add him here really quick, and then we get going.
What? How come Law not in this? How come he not in here?
Oh, you ask
Mixing
him.
it up with-
You ask him.
I'm asking.
He's right
Where you
there.
at? Where you
Law,
at, dog?
where you at, Law?
Get in the car with you. Get in the car with us, dog. What are you doing, bro? Get in the car with us. Let's go.
All right, so I got this one over here. Here we go.
That's a lot of damn, it's a lot of relics.
Yeah, but I think it'll be kind of, because we have the commanders in the back here. I'll select the relic really quick, just to refresh everybody's memory what it does. We can talk about where we place it, each one of us, just like last time. Just say where you place it, and then we can talk about if you want to give any extra details to it. Go ahead, Jax.
How many total is it?
71.
All right.
All right, so there you
So
go.
I think we can go one by one, right? We don't have to trash them or what?
No, we can go one by one. But
we got to be fast.
Yeah, for sure.
We can't go down the rabbit hole too many times. We can go down the rabbit hole a few times, because I know like Maddox and especially Scar with their infinite knowledge, they want to go down the rabbit hole every time and tell you every single, whatever, but we just don't have the time.
Yeah. So I think we can go through them really rather quickly here. All right, guys, let's get going. So let's go in the order that we see here in the image. Let me just make sure you guys are seeing everything. There you go. You guys can see in my right side over here, right? You got Adun, Arwin, and yada yada yada. We'll go in that order. They are all in alphabetical order. So we'll go in alphabetical order. We'll pop it up in the back here, and then we'll have a little conversation about them. 1-2 minutes each. All right. Denethor is going to be joining us in just a second. So once he's in, he can give his feedback.
Thanatos? Who's that?
Thanatos. Remember him? The old school Thanatos.
Oh boy. Here we go.
All right, so let's go, guys. First up is Adun. You gotta find this dude here. Or she's over here. Playing portrait on a computer is definitely something. Where is she? Here we go. You got Adun here. Her relic is the Forsaken Scythe, giving commander HP. So she is primarily, she has 2 damage, focus damage skills, 1 physical damage skill. She gives HP, commander attack, commander focus, in unit attack. And her special ability is this one you guys can see on the screen over here. Okay. Revel in fear. The commander's formation gains the following effects in sequence as Adonai's stats increase. Attack reaches 50, damage plus 4. Attack reaches 100, damage plus 4. Focus reaches 50, damage received minus 4. Focus reaches 100, damage received minus 4. So essentially, she can get plus 8 damage done and minus 8 damage received as long as her focus and attack reach the threshold here. Remember, we're not. So we talked about this in the background. We're not going to rank the relic with the commander, right? So how well it does, considering if Adun is a S, B tier, A, C tier, trash tier commander, this relic alone, just looking at what it does and the stats, where would you place?
Trash.
Really?
Yeah, man.
All right. What about you? So let's go here. Let's go in order. G Unit, where would you place it?
I actually think it's a good relic. Like I would put it in the B tier.
B tier. Okay.
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah, I also would put it in the good tier just because it does give you a +8 on, well, ±8 on both if you can get stats both high enough, which is good compared to most of the other relics that we're going to see.
Okay. What about you, Thanatos? Welcome.
Hello, everyone. So I missed which relic it was. So
We're talking about Adun's relic.
Adun. So I'll have to check it real quick. I have my tablet on the other side.
Yeah, if you see it on the screen, I have the relic up on the screen.
I cannot see your screen.
Oh, because you're on Discord. True.
It's just plus 8% damage and minus 8% damage if she reaches like a certain attack and focus.
Yep.
That's not bad. I mean, but I guess there's way better, but there is also way worse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would think something. I didn't hear what G Unit said, but I would say probably a B tier.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep. I would put it in the B tier as well because it's just good, it's just good stats boost. +8 attack damage done and +8 damage reduction it's quite decent. Remember, we're not
it's nice to have.
Exactly. Remember, we're not comparing. I mean, if this relic was for Dain, or if this relic was on this commander, or if Dadune's kit was better, we're not combining them both to see how good it synergizes with the commander. We're just looking at how good this relic is. Period. And I would say it has some good stats. It has a good skill, and also has some nice stats. The top 3 stats I would say are great to have on a commander: HP, attack, and focus for this commander specifically. Unit attack I think is useless, but other than that, I definitely think her relic is a B tier relic. All right. So 3-1, she has to sit at the B level. Next up, we got Lady Arwin. Her relic is called the Hadafang. And the Hadafang does the following. It increases command, focus, unit attack, and unit defense. Okay? And the special skill is called Mortal Bond. At max refined stats, Arwin recovery effectiveness +15%, and focus damage dealt +15% when the army includes both elf and men. Let's go top to bottom here from my Discord list. Thanatos, what do you think of this relic?
I'm not sure because I'm not sure about the recovery effectiveness. I've never seen, probably in 2.0, Arwen relic, so I didn't even check a report on that. I can say that the focus damage dealt, I'm not too nice on that. And also the recovery effectiveness, I don't know how that scales well with command.
Mm-hmm.
I would put it below Adun, so in that case for me it would be a C tier, and because also for the fact that it says that it needs both elf and men in the army.
Yeah. All right, before we just keep going, huge shout out to my boy Bill Fernie. Oh my man, with the $20 super chat. OMG. It's fellows, my boy. Oh man, I appreciate that. It's just good to see you around, Bill. I think
Bill, you were the Iron, or you in the RP?
Yep. He was with us.
Okay.
I hope. Are you coming NRP, Bill? Man, say you are.
Yeah, it's about time everybody gets an NRP already.
All right, guys, we gotta wait for Bill to reply on this one. Sorry, guys.
It's the only place where you can get good fights.
Nowadays, for sure. Sadly,
Oh, I shared with you my relic tier list based on cuteness and uniqueness.
Yeah.
you know what? We'll show this. We'll show this at the end, Scar. We'll show this whole
Sounds
screen so
good.
people can see. how
It's the
you.
only thing that really matters.
Yeah, I agree on that. Also, well, we had time ago in Ungo, there was the ladies chat that had a tier list for commander cuteness.
Yeah, we gotta do
Oh.
we gotta do an
That's
episode like that
perfect.
and just have all the ladies, that we
Yeah.
have
We're gonna do
here rank. We should, we
You
gotta
gotta
bring.
get those. You gotta get in that lone Discord, ladies of Middle Earth, and get them all over here. If we're gonna do that.
So yeah, we gotta.
We
You
can
gotta
have our Aces girls chat join VC.
there you go.
Some of them and Aces are in that lone chat or Discord.
Come on, Bill, with another $20 super chat. I'm still playing, but I'll find my Pirates Pooty family.
So RP.
You gotta come to NRP with us, Bill.
Yeah, the pirates are in RP with Iron.
Yeah, that's
Some of
true.
them are-
Yeah, so then no,
some
he's,
of them are.
so then he's coming. Then he's coming, I think.
The guy that does the intro video, Enib, he diehard RP.
Yeah.
He in RP.
Well, we'll get Bill in the house here. See, oh, there you go. Bill just
All right.
confirmed. I'll be there, guys. Yes.
All right then.
All right. That's settled. We can get back to the tier list. we couldn't pass it. All right. So even Omni, Lost said recovery bonus isn't great. I agree with you. I would put her relic. Like I said, I'm trying to stay away as much as I can from comparing to her skill. Although 15% focus damage sounds nice. I mean, we put Adun's relic at B because she has 8% damage done. Arwin has 15% focus damage done and 15% recovery. I would put it below Adonais for now, but I would be more inclined to put her at the bad spot. What do you say, Jax?
Trash.
What about you, G-Unit?
Thanatos said it already. It's very specific and depends on your composition. So I think it's bad.
All right, and you, Sam.
Yeah, I put it straight in C for trash.
Perfect. I think it fits here well. Taking into consideration, just like what you guys said, because it restricts to what you need to run in order to get it to be effective, then definitely is a bad relic to use. Especially remembering how expensive these relics are to get strengthened and refined, especially. All right, guys. Next up, we got Azok. Here is another
Yes,
commander.
but also, fellow, I would like to add the fact that you said before that you don't take in consideration the skills of the commander.
Mm-hmm.
But also, in some part, I would take that in consideration because the relic on itself, I mean, some relics are not maybe that great, but if they are paired with the skills of a certain commander, they work really well. in my opinion.
True. Oh,
So-
I agree with you. I don't mind us saying, thinking, for example, 15% focus damage sounds great, but Arwen's focus damage skills are bad. So
Yeah,
that
exactly.
15% really
15% of one, it's
exactly
1.15,
so we can obviously, we're gonna have that in mind when we say things, but it's like, let's go into the skills and just see how well it synergizes. We're gonna have another episode where we're gonna have a more thorough we're gonna then tier things related to synergy, right? And so stay tuned because that's gonna come out later. But that's true, Thanatos. Whenever you guys are giving your feedback, just kind of think, okay, her skills are focused, but then her skills are really bad. So 15% of, almost nothing is just barely anything. All right. T1 Giant Axe, our bad boy Azog. Why isn't this coming up? Azok. There we go. The Giant Axe, HP, Commander Attack, Commander Focus, and Commander Defense. I like all of these. For a T1, it's pretty synergized with what he does. We all know what he does. Best T1 damage dealer in the game. And his Mountain Bound skill gives 15% extra damage dealt when battling on stone producing land. Jax, I'll let you go first.
Trash.
Trash. What? Sam?
Yeah, I had it in trash as well. When you get in a big fight, you're not going to be looking, oh, I'm fighting on a stone tile. You're not going to sit on a stone tile away from the big fight, so it's pretty pointless.
G unit.
Agree.
Thanatos.
I would have actually put it, if it wasn't on stone tiles, I would have put it in A tier. But I would
Oh,
rather,
true.
yeah, I'm torn between B and C.
Think about this. If this was not on a specific land, this would be better. The skill would be better than Dain's skill. Because Dain's skill gets up to 15%, right? If it's fully refined. But it only goes up by how many times, every time he gets hit. So if there wasn't, telling you, limiting you to get the 15% if you're fighting on stone producing land, it would be more impactful than even Dain's relic in terms of the skill. But would you guys agree that at least his relic is pretty well for what the commander does, and so it would sit above Arwen's relic?
Trash.
Well, Jax, it can at least be at the top of trash, okay? He can be the
Well,
king of the...
Then we have to put Arwin into the looks tier list.
Check it out, people. We did not have time for this. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. In and out, okay? In and out.
All right, next up, guys, we got Aragorn 2. Aragorn 2. Here we go. Got this bad boy over here. His relic is called Anduril. Commander HP, commander attack, and unit defense. And its special skill is called Undomiel. This formation unit recovers 150 HP each round. Man units in this formation take normal attacks in the place of one allied units. All right.
Jax, you say it or I say it?
Am I first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why are we not? You should be starting with Scars. She last, so you got to pick her first and go up.
Scar says she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to give her opinion.
I'll yap if I see the yap.
Sorry.
If
Say
not,
what?
I'm here. I said I'll talk if I have a comment.
Yep. All right, you go, Jax.
B.
B. Okay.
Why not?
Why not, Sam?
Yeah, I put it low end of B as well.
All right, cool. G unit.
I would put it into C because we are. Aragorn the second is a damage dealer, and we're basically taunting the enemy towards the damage dealer, so that's just not good. Yeah.
Thanatos.
I would put it in C tier. And again, when we read the wording, it kind of looks like taunt.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know if it's really taunt because a lot of those relics were bugged, as we know. Again, the 150% HP looks cool, but you don't want to pack him with command, so his heal would be awful.
Yep.
And again, we don't know how that taunt would work. I would put it in C tier.
Yep. And there's a third thing here. It's you have to use man units for the second thing to even work, right? So
yeah, that would be the best thing, man. If it said like elves, that would be a bigger problem. I mean,
yeah,
you could use cataphracts or Swan Knights.
Yeah.
What's his base command?
Let's have a look. I mean, this one is ascended, but his base command is 22.
Oh, so that's bad.
It's
Well,
horrible.
you're looking at still though. The reality is you're looking at 1,500 heal if it's a 10-round fight. That's like even a
heal
Undying.
scales on command, Jax. So I mean,
I get that. But let's look at Undying as a reference, right? So his base command is 162, and I'd say half the people don't put anything into that, and half the people put a lot into it. So just at 162, which is what is that? A fucking command helmet? If you put it on this guy, that would be 150. So Undying's base heal 162, 10 rounds, or it's at round 5, but it's 1,000, right? So that's getting you around 20,000. So hypothetically, if you throw a command helmet on this guy Aragorn, you get him up to 150 command, and you got this 1,500 round heal. supposing you go 10 rounds into a draw, how much is that? That's probably 25k. So I think that's useful somehow.
I can do the math a little bit later, but I do think at 100 and something command, I think you're gonna be hitting it about because I run Falcon. Falcon has a decent healing skill, and the max I get with him, and going 700 command is like 7,000, 6,000 heal. So I think with this low command, you're gonna end up getting only about like 3 or 4k out of Aragorn, I believe.
And also the fact to bear in mind that the healing also, I mean, he has the taunt on the relic, so he will have less troops time by time. So he will be probably the first one to die.
Most
in that
likely.
case.
Yeah, you would have to test it. I
Yeah.
don't know if it turns out that it's not 20k healing, then it's trash. But if it turns out if it is, then it's basically the same skills Undying's R5.
Yep, true. All right, guys. Next up, so Tom here from our good friends here. He said 550 command on Undi is 37k healing consistent. So then imagine only one something on Aragorn. I do believe it would be pretty low. All right. All right, so let's put them over here for now. Let's go next up. We got all right. I mean, this one looks pretty interesting. Okay, we got next up. We got Azog. His relic is called the Razor Shoulder Armor. Very original. It gives commander initiative, unit defense, unit attack, and its special skill is called Power of Control. Damage dealt by the commander's formation unit to targets affected by stun or madness plus 35%. Let's go opposite this time. Thanatos, where would you rank Azog's relic?
I think that this theoretically would be a great relic. But again, Azog just came out.
Yep.
Probably no one has this relic, or I've not seen it yet. Maybe someone in youths has it. But again, fully refined is 35% by stun or madness. So I mean, it's both. If it stacks, it would be crazy. But again, I want to concentrate on the initiative because he has initiative on his relic, which is not something that you find every day. And how that would work, because if he goes first, you would need something like a fast Sauron or a fast Gil or a fast Gandalf the White and so on to apply this power of control after they apply the stun or madness. So in that case, I don't understand that, because if it goes first when the enemy commander or enemy troops are not in that stun or madness, that would be useless, because then he would apply that, he would attack first and then apply that, and then Sauron comes in with his madness or stun and so on, and that would be worthless. So I'm kind of torn on that. I would put it in A tier, but again, I think it's pretty new. We don't have a pretty clear idea right now.
Yep. G unit.
I just want to say quickly, equipment effects apply before the pre-battle phase, so the initiative in this case does not matter. I would put it at the top of the B tier simply because unit damage is currently pointless. It's a pretty good relic if units were usable.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I mistook this part. It was damage dealt by the commander formation unit. Yeah, so I would put it also in A tier or B tier. Yeah.
Okay. Sam.
Yeah, I agree. B tier.
Okay.
Nothing more to add.
Jax.
B.
Perfect. I agree. I do have my hunch that it is an A tier gear. Especially if you're running that crowd control style of game, of formation. I do think with the amount of stuns and madness you can do, building Azog to do damage. Look at his, his follow up from his R5. The top R0 skill that he has, and all the madness that you guys can do. I feel like that'd be pretty strong. But because he's a brand new commander, I put him at definitely a top of B for sure right now. I wish I had him unlocked and had him at R10 to test, but soon enough we're gonna have a lot of people with this. All right, guys. Next up we have Azra-Cor. Jax plays Azra-Cor in one of his 4 formations, so he can tell us a little bit more about that. I'll let him go first. But Azra-Cor is Relic. Come on. Here we go. Okay. Azra-Cor's Relic is called the Corsair's Bow. Gives commander defense, unit, attack and defense, and its Relic is called Combustion. Against one enemy formation unit's burn damage received plus 15% when your army includes Corsairs. Jax, what do you have to tell us about this Relic? Where would you place it?
Trash.
Sadly, I would have to agree. 2 limiting. 1 unit formation gets 15%. Only 1 unit. And you have to be playing Corsairs? Come on, man. Dude, don't do us dirty like that. Anybody that would oppose his Azra-Cor's Relic being in the trash tier? Yes or no?
What Jack said for me.
Perfect. It's nice for the stats, right? But then the special skill that you're going to use, it's definitely doesn't do anything essentially because you never run him with. Where is Balin? All right, guys. Next up, we got Balin, my favorite 1.0 commander, the king of the Retaliate. They've changed his relic. Now he has the Moria helmet, which looks pretty cool. The Moria helmet gives commander attack, unit attack, and defense. And the special skill is called an Ancestral Strength. What a useless skill. Increases the damage Balin and this formation's dwarf units deal to orcs and dragons by 12%. Can we all agree that this relic is trash?
Yes.
I preferred the relic before, the sword.
The sword looks looked so much cooler. This looks stupid. I mean, you're doing more damage wearing a helmet. Look, that makes total sense, right? Not with a weapon. It makes total sense. We all know. All right, next up, we got Bard, a commander that came out but didn't do any splash. Nothing. Looked like he could have been good. He is mid-tier to say the best, or would need a lot of investment to make him decent. Okay, Bards. Well, before we go, let's see if we got any comments here because I got so many screens open. Yep, Law said it. Good in the Stun Madness team for sure. Next, Balin trash. Balin's Relic is the coolest looking one by far.
Well, you gotta ask about that.
About what?
It's the coolest looking one by far.
The tactician said Balin's. Out of the 7 we've done, I give him that. It's the coolest. This is different. Everything else is like a weapon, so the helmet's pretty nice. All right, so we got the Black Arrow. I like that they capped with the theme of the Black Arrow for Bard. Commander HP, Commander attack and defense, and unit attack, and his his special skill is called Fatal Weakness. From round 6 onward, the commander's attacks ignore 36% of the enemy's defense stat. Okay, Thanatos, quick and easy. Where would you put that one?
Again, it is the question about the synergy about commanders. If I look at it, I think it's in the B tier. So
B tier. Okay. He's a damage dealer essentially, right? With some mitigation here and there, with some bleed here and there. Okay. G unit.
I agree. The problem is from round 6 onwards, it's already pretty late in the fight. in terms of the passive of the relic. So
Yeah.
it's hard. I think it's hard to put it higher than BB.
Yep.
I agree with Thanatos.
Sweet. Sam?
Yeah, I agree. I put it bottom of B tier.
Perfect. Jax?
Trash.
Trash. The reason why I agree putting into the B tier is just because it helps with what it's intended to do in his kit, right? He's doing damage, 36% of damage, defense reduction. He's a physical damage dealer. It helps, but it's just weak for a T3 commander. It just feels so weak because nobody stacks defense unless you're running a tank unit. So, and like I said, by round 6, that tank unit is very likely very close to being dead. So it then kind of beats the purpose, but still it goes a little bit with what his kit does anyways. All right, next up we got the king of the animals. We got Beorn with his cool
There will
ancestral
be a lot of controversy here.
with his cool ancestral necklace called a tribal mortal bond. Commander HP, commander attack, commander defense, and unit attack is what you get with his relic, and his special skill is called Foe. During combat, increases commander attack by 15%. If the enemy army includes orcs, attack increases by an additional 10. So you can get up to 25 extra attack points. Jax, where would you put that one?
What are we talking about? Beorn?
Beorn.
Trash.
What?
Agree. C tier.
Who said that? Thanatos? All right, G unit.
It's the weakest part of the commander. I would put it at the bottom of B simply because Sauron's stat reduction is kind of offset by this. But yeah, I mean C is also fine. It's not a good relic.
Okay, Sam.
Yeah, nothing to add. Trash.
Jeez, I am actually surprised by this. I would have put potentially at the low B's just because it's just a stat increase. But with Witch Kings running around and Saurons and things like that, I would say it's definitely worth it. But I don't think it's worse than Aragorn's. At least goes along with his kit. So I at least put it over here at the top of C.
As Tom in the chat said, nice for the extra stats. Now it only costs 10 mithril, correct?
Exactly.
Nothing to say.
Yeah. So we'll put it over here. It's not too bad. Perfect. Next up, I am kind of surprised that you guys put it this low though. Give me a second here.
I mean, if you look at the synergy of the commander, that would be B tier, probably. But if you look simply at the relic, it's awful. It's the only flaw of Beorn.
All right. All right, next up, we got Beruthiel. All right, let's go quick on this one. Beruthiel, I didn't unlock her, so she's all the way over here on the right side. Here we go. Beruthiel's unique is called Tiara of the Fallen Queen. Gives command, gives focus, unit attack, and unit defense. And the special skill is called Contempt. When an enemy army includes man, Beruthiel's focus increases by 6, and this formation damage dealt increases by 12. Jax, where'd you put this one?
Trash.
Okay. Sam?
Same.
Thanatos, same?
Yeah, trash.
Same.
Perfect. Let's move on. The only good thing I see about this is, it does give 12% extra damage, but for the amount that you need to just a second, guys, to refine this and looking at her skills, definitely
Drink
not
some
worth
water,
it.
fool.
I've been drinking. I've been sick for like a week now, so.
Bro, you got moved, dog. Y'all get sick too much.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going on over there, bro.
Always. All right. New look for this commander. We got Boromir up. His relic is actually pretty cool looking. Although his original was more iconic, the horn was more iconic than this thing. But the White Tower shield gives commander attack, and unit defense. And it's called, the special skill is called High Warden. From round 6 onward, damage dealt by man units in the commander's formation plus 40%. Now, look at the contrast between this round 6 skill to bards, right? 36% defense reduction is nothing. Imagine if you had bards, even if it was at round 6, but a bard did 40% extra damage starting in round 6, that'd be pretty dope. Even though it's later, it's still pretty powerful. But where would you put this one, Thanatos? Let's start with you now.
I don't know. I would say really, really low B or high C. I would say C.
Okay.
C, definitely.
G unit.
I agree.
Okay. Sam.
Yeah, trash.
Jax.
Trash.
Perfect. I just love how Jax is like, boom, let's go. Next up, Black Serpent with the humongous horn that the dude's carrying around now.
Jax
Right.
should be an expert of that.
The Serpent's banner. Command gives command, focus, unit attack, and unit defense. The same thing. Well, we kind of gotten lucky here. A bunch of relics starting in round 6. From round 6 on, attack of the commander's formation plus 30. Jax?
Trash.
Sam?
I agree.
All right, G unit.
Agree.
And Thanatos?
Yeah, trash.
All in accordance? There we go. Let's move on.
I don't understand why developers think that the battles are relevant from round 6 onward.
No idea either.
Usually at round 4 it's pretty decided when Beorn hits.
Yep.
But again.
All right, next up, Celeborn.
You can skip that. We can tell you right away.
I know. There's probably somebody maining Celeborn, so let's give them just the benefit of seeing their relic on the screen here. So we got the Cinder Scepter, gives command, focus, unit attack, and unit defense. And the special skill is called Wise Guidance. Every 2 rounds, this formation unit recovers 300 HP once, and their defense increases by 6. By 6. Lasts for 1 round. Jax?
B.
B, okay. Okay. Sam?
I put it in trash.
G unit?
I think Celeborn is like a commander, right? So the
Yes.
heal is probably not that bad. I would put it at the bottom of B.
Okay. Thanatos?
C tier.
Okay. I'm going to have to be the tiebreaker. The only reason why I would put, like, going into the synergy here, the reason why I put this guy into the low B is because it goes okay-ish with his kit, although it's a weak kit. His R4 gives defense. His R2 is evasion, which is nice. And then this right here gives you also some damage reduction, some extra defense, and some initiative. That doesn't really matter, right? So it goes.
But it doesn't synergize with the commander at all. It would be more useful on someone like Galadriel.
True. The thing is, I could see, because it's not race restricted, right? It's not saying if you're running elves, right? So in this case, at least, if you wanted to run him in some kind, again, he's a T2. I think his kit is pretty weak, but if you want to run him in a way, sort of a tank, you have the kits that give you that. Although, like I said, I do think it's pretty bad, but because it does synergize okay-ish with his kit. Bottom of the B, I think it sits pretty well. But either way, guys,
we put in C tier Aragorn to that gives 150% every round, and this gives 300% every 2 rounds.
So it's
So they're
150.
basically equal.
Yes, but the thing is, like I think G Unit said, this Celeborn is a commander. So you're gonna stack him with 500-600 of command, with that, which makes his healing 4 times as potent as Aragorn 2, right?
True. Yeah.
That is the only reason why. But either way, bottom of B, top of C, it can sit somewhere along those lines. All right, next up is an interesting commander, a pretty good one. We got Sestaro here, a commander that's pretty high in the meta right now. Pretty strong, actually. Vassie is working on trying to get his formation to counter William's triple damage, all evil formation. William is running 4 evil commanders, only Sauron as the tank, I believe, and then 3 damage dealers, which is doing fantastically well. So, evil can compete. There you go. Sestaro, his relic is called the Morgul Staff, gives commander HP, focus, and defense, and unit defense. I like this. Doesn't give any stupid attack on the commander that needs to be tanky. His Curse Weaver skill, commander 40% chance for focus damage dealt plus 5% when dealing focus damage, can stack 5 times. So you have a chance of stacking 25% focus damage on a triple skilled focus damage dealer. Jax, where do you put him at?
Oh, well, you do stack the 25%. It's just a matter of time, but it happens
Exactly.
every time because he's got several damage skills or whatever, right? So I think it's meta. 25% increased damage is pretty hard to come by. Pretty rare.
Okay, nice. Sam?
Yeah, I agree with most of the points. Just with the 40% chance, maybe put it into great rather than meta.
Okay. We'll come back to that. G Unit?
I agree with Jax. I think this relic is amazing.
Perfect. Thanatos?
Yeah, I agree with all the points said. I'm not super. I don't have a lot of knowledge on Sestaro personally, but I agree with all what you said.
Perfect. The reason why I see Jax's point and it makes sense is because he has so many instances of focus damage every round. It's a matter of time until you hit those 5 instances.
I like that it doesn't happen. Well, I mean, you would prefer it happen immediately, right? But it's fine if it happens in round 3 or 4 or even whatever, right? Because then you're coming down from, you're coming off the White Council stacks, whatever, and it can start.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you're gonna hit it. If there's no not having the 20, it's just a matter of when. It's usually whatever 2, 3, 4, somewhere in there. You're gonna get to it.
Perfect. Next up.
And it's damage. It's not like more attack or more scratch out here. It's actual damage, which is great.
Yes. I mean, it synergizes perfectly with his kit. So you couldn't ask for something better. I mean, you could ask for better, percentages or other things, but for a damage dealer, it's what you want. So it's really, really, really good. All right. Next up, we got Cirdan. By far one of the coolest looking commanders in the game. Look, having a commander with a beard is just epic. He doesn't know if he's a dwarf or an elf.
Commanders with beard.
What?
Devs like commanders with beards. Usually they are meta.
All right, so Cirdan's Crown of Shipwright gives command, focus, and initiative, and unit attack. His Crow's Nest skill. This formation's units recover 150 HP once each round for 5 rounds. This effect lasts till the end of the combat when battling on crossings. All right, we'll go backwards this time. Thanatos, how do you feel about it?
B. Behind Celeborn.
B behind Celeborn, okay. All right, G Unit?
I will say a bit more about Cirdan because I played him a lot last season, I think Cirdan, like the relic is pretty good in terms of his kit because the initiative gives you 2 chances to cleanse White Rider and Sauron's Deceiver before Beorn gets his nuke in round 4, for example. So the initiative that the relic provides is very good. The healing is okay. It's not amazing. It's like pretty much in the middle. But again, since he's a commander and you're gonna play him as a tank, it's a nice little addition to not lose too many tanky units like the Swan Knights or the Trolls. So I would put this either at the very top of B or at the very bottom of A.
Bottom of A or top of B. Okay. Sam?
Yeah, I've not played Cirdan much. I had it in B, but taking on G units points, can't argue with that.
All right. Jax?
A.
All right. Jeez. Okay. I will be the tiebreaker. I agree with you guys. Give me a second here. Cirdan, it works well with his kit. You know, he has other 2 healing skills. He has some cleanse, and if his R5 triggers the right way, you can get some really nice things there. So I would agree that his potentially make towards the bottom of A, but I do think Cirdan's, looking at his commander, it fits pretty well with what he does, and you're gonna stack him with defense and command anyway, so your healing is gonna be pretty high. All right, guys. Next up, I think we can all pretty much summarize what this guy's relic is. We got Dain. He's the next up. Where would you guys put the Crimson Blade? Jax.
Meta S.
Meta S. I mean, it's essentially the same principle as Sestaro, just doesn't have the percentages, the chance. His relentless vigor increases the physical damage dealt by this formation's commander by 3% when this formation receives damage, stacks up to 5 times. So if it's fully refined, you will get that 15% consistently after. Okay. Where did you put it, G unit?
I agree with Jax. It's obviously better.
Sam?
Yeah, meta.
And Thanatos?
Meta.
Grazie. All right, next up, we got Denethor. Denethor's relic has also changed. Looks pretty cool now, at least. Where is he at?
Funny thing, I have someone in my season that has a fully refined Denethor relic.
Ooh. What respect level?
Mythic R14.
Nice, R14. Ooh. The Steward's Coronet gives commander HP, attack, and a unit attack and defense. Okay, and
Hello,
then
can you move the tiers down a little bit so I can see the
yes,
tier
sorry.
back?
Give me a second here. It keeps going up. There we go. Keep it like this. Okay, so his Steward's Hubris reduces damage received by this formation's militia, spearman, and guard of the tower. I wish they added Swan Knights to this as well by 25%. Jax?
Seems good. B.
Mm-hmm. Sam?
Yeah, I put it in B just because obviously we're gonna get guards of the towers pretty quickly if you're starting a season in Gondor or Rings of Power, Kings of Men. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. G unit.
Agree.
All right. And Thanatos.
Agree. B2.
Nice. I mean, yeah, it works pretty well. It works okay with his kit. You have the healing here, right? Some healing here. Some really useless HP. Makes him a little bit tanky. You got some damage here that you don't need. This gives you attack, which is kind of useless for this kit. But then you got some extra damage reduction here on the rounds that our bad boy Dain or Gimli's will hit with their Dune's Blood. So 24% on the T2 is definitely interesting. And I will agree with you guys. Putting this at a B level is pretty decent. All right. Next up, we got Dwalin. The murdered commander from 1.0. So his Yeah, his twin axes gives commander HP, attack, and unit defense. And his battle dance skill hasn't changed from 1.0. Well, most of them haven't. Dwalin normal attacks have a 20% chance of damage dealt plus 100%. Where would you put this, Jax?
20%. I trigger twice in a fight. Trash.
Okay. Sam?
Yeah, I put it top end of trash. Nice if it hits, but very unlikely it's gonna hit.
G unit?
Yeah, terrible because extremely low percentage chance and only normal attacks.
Perfect. And last but not least, Thanatos.
Yeah, like G Unit said.
So just
Same.
that C then? Just bad?
Yeah,
Perfect.
correct. Yeah.
Perfect. I got some notes here from Vessi and from Tip. So I'm looking at their stuff here. I'll post theirs as well later. So far, Tip and Harbinger, yeah, I'll call him Harb. They put Sestaro's Relic at great, not at meta, which is interesting. Dain's is at meta. Cirdan's, they've put it in the trash department. Along with... Did he? Yep. Along with a lot of the other stuff. So let's keep moving. We'll come back to this later. Next up, we got Elladan. Let's see, he's right here next to his brother. All right. Our Elladan's relic is called Nocturne. Commander HP, commander attack, and unit defense. His sudden strike skill does the following. The target of each normal attack suffers one of the following effects. -6 defense for 1 round, -2 attack for 1 round, or receives 120% physical damage once. Thanatos, where would you put this one?
C tier. I would put it in the middle somewhere. I think it's bad, personally.
Really? Okay. G unit?
I agree with Thanatos.
Okay. Sam?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. And Jax?
Trash.
I'll tell you why I don't like this one. If it was 120% physical damage once, that would have been great. But the fact that it's RNG and for that little of debuff is just useless. -6 defense and -2 of attack. What does that mean?
Yeah, if it was 20 attack or 20 defense.
Yeah, well,
I could see a
but
point,
this is meaningless.
-2 is just
Exactly.
memeing. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a meme.
2 RNG for most likely very little. Imagine we're fully refining this thing to be then hitting -2 attack every fight. Nah, no. 120 would do well with his kit, which you can do some nice damage from him. But other than that, I do think it's pretty bad. Perfect. All right. Elrohir. Let's talk about his brother now. Elrohir has his relic is called Bow of Imladris. Looks pretty cool. Commander HP and attack, and unit defense. And his relic does the following. This formation's units gain the following effects according to race. Elf, damage dealt by 6%. Man, damage reduced by 4%. And dwarf gains madness immunity. Where do you put this one, Jax?
Trash.
Sam?
Yeah, trash.
Let's see here. G unit?
Trash.
Thanatos?
Yeah, I'm a big Elrohir fan, but trash.
Okay. Are you guys saying it's bad just because troop formations is not very meta right now, or is it just because it's just bad in general?
It's for me, it's two things. First, as you said, it's troops. The second thing is that fully max refined to me 6% is a joke, which does not stack. And unless it's not written, which would not be new to us. But again, it's just 6% and 4% damage received. It's useless.
This is probably one of the best relics to go unrefined, though. Look at this. Look at this. If I just unlock his relic, my dwarves would gain madness immunity. You don't even have to refine it for, for the other two, you got to refine. But to gain madness immunity, you don't have to do anything. Just pay 10 mithril, and you have a formation that now doesn't get madness, which is nice.
Yeah, it would be a pretty good recommendation for just 10 mithril. But
Yep. But I agree. The true formations are not very strong right now, and his whole kit is essentially just stacking stats. His R4 stacks stats of attack. His half elven stacks man. I mean, this is man and elf, so I already couldn't use my dwarf in this situation, right? And then War Chant increases attack again, so. It's, definitely pretty useless. Okay, next up is a tough nut to crack and a very weird pill to swallow. We got Elrond here with his Vilya Ring of Air. Gives command. Oh, this is sad. It gives. I mean, look how this makes sense. It gives command. I mean, I guess it could work. Command, attack, unit attack, unit defense, and then a commander that has no damage skills. His relic, after launching normal attacks, deals 70% damage once to one enemy formations and inflicts keen eye. Isn't that nice? Where do you guys place him? I'll start with Jax. Go ahead, Jax.
Trash.
Sam?
I put it in the tier below trash. I think it's an insult to trash, and I want my mithril back.
Okay. G unit?
Yeah, it's very bad. I think they just forgot to update it, to be honest. Like, this should have been updated once they changed the Elrond title.
And what about you, Thanatos?
he had a damage skill once, Elrond. They took it away from him.
He did.
And also responding to Tom in chat, he doesn't give enemy keen eye. I tested him. Unfortunately, I have him 5.
See, that's
he's not even it's not even a pather for me. It does not inflict keen eye on the enemy. It just hit that attack on the unique has keen eye. So trash for me.
That is where it's very, very weird, because it clearly states and inflicts keen eye. That would be an epic, just like Elrohir, without having to refine, an epic relic to use. Let's say you're fighting, the Gil-Galad meta, and he hits one of the Elven units, then boom, the unit now has keen eye, so they have no more evasion. But it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, if it was like that, it would, for me, jump into S tier, just for that.
Yeah. But it doesn't work that way. Let me make sure. See, I think it might be better for Bohika said he couldn't see the meta tier on stream, so we fixed that. All right, I think you guys can see that now. Yeah, the way it is right now is just really bad. If it actually would inflict keen eye, then that would be beautiful, but it doesn't. All right, guys, next up we have Eomer's relic. Let's go through him quite quick. Oh, jeez. Oh, somebody's coming for me. Where is Eomer? Here we go. Eomer's relic is called Firefoot's Reigns. It gives command attack, unit defense, and his special skill called Like the Wind. Eomer and his formation unit gain the following effects in sequence. Initiative reaches 30. The next instance of damage dealt by Eomer plus 30%. Initiative reaches 50. Mounted units in Eomer's formation prioritize attacks on enemy ranged units. All right, let's go with Thanatos this time. Where you rank that?
I think it's a good and B tier.
B
I
tier.
think it's good unique.
All right. What about you, G Unit?
I have very little experience with Eomer. The first part of this relic, it's just one instance of damage. Do I understand that correctly? Like just the first attack is boosted, or?
No, I believe if I'm not mistaken, it's every other instance of damage would be. So he hits,
Okay.
does 30%. Next one doesn't. So that means the next one will do it.
Okay.
The next one won't.
Okay. Yeah. Then I will put it in B. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Sam.
Yeah, I agree with the B.
Perfect. Jax.
B.
I was kind of waiting for the trash. All right, next up, we got Eowyn's relic. Her relic is the Rohan something. Rohan's Refuge. Nice looking, really little relic. Gives commander HP, commander attack, commander defense, and unit defense. And Shield Maiden's cover in the first 4 rounds reduces range damage received by this formation's melee units by 30%. Jax, what's your verdict on this one?
Trash.
Sam?
Trash.
G Unit?
Trash.
And Thanatos.
Trash.
The people have spoken. Trash it goes.
Yeah.
All right, next up, my boy. I'm considering bringing this dude to Z1 just for the cool looking clothes, the costume, the whatever you call it. My boy Falcon. All right, Falcon's hardy buckler gives commander attack, commander defense, and unit defense, and his adventurous determination skill reduces damage received by this formation's melee units by 6%. Plus, or increases damage dealt by this formation's ranged units by 6%. And the above effect gains 6% for each allied dwarf unit present. Stacks up to 3 times. So you can either get 24% damage reduction on your melee or 24% damage increased on your ranged. Nice thing is it's not race restrictive. One of the best T2s in this game, my boys and girls. Jax, where do you put his relic?
Meta. Yes.
Meta. Ooh, okay. Sam?
I put him in great just because I'm not sure if you're definitely gonna get all 4 running dwarfs to get the effect off.
So you actually cannot run a 4th dwarf, or else it's. I mean, you can, but you only get it for 3 because it only stacks 3 times. So you're gonna get the 6% at the top here, and then another 6 for each dwarf units, but it only stacks 3 times. So you can get 24% max. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think, G Unit?
I think it's at the top of great.
Okay.
The only reason I wouldn't put it in meta is because it does require you to play 3 dwarf units.
It does restrict you. That is true. In that way, yes. For yourself, it's nice because you can run anything else, but your army needs to run guardian or dwarfs, which is good because it's the good part of the meta, but still race restrictive. Makes sense. What about you, Thanatos?
I agree 101% with G Unit.
Okay,
So top of A tier.
perfect. We'll keep it at top of 8 here. All right, next up, we got Frodo and Sam. Ooh, Frodo and Sam is a complicated situation.
No, I know that very well.
They need to fix that, by the way. It makes no sense to have a relic that does that.
You can put it in the looks for me already.
All right, so Starglass gives commander HP, defense, initiative, and unit defense, which is all nice for a tank. In the first 2 rounds, True Courage. This formation has 70% chance to evade all damage when the enemy includes orcs. That's something I don't like. They should change that. I don't think you should need to pray that you're fighting somebody running something specifically for you to get it. You wanna race restrict myself? Oh, I gotta run man to get that 70%. Fine, like Gil-Galad's, but I have to pray that my enemies run the right thing? Nah, that's too much. Okay, Thanatos, where do you put them? Since you have a Z1 Frodo and Sam. Looks? Jeez.
Looks.
Okay.
Looks. Because I'll tell you this real quick. When I play Frodo and Sam, I don't equip it. And I have it 5-star, not refined.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could mess up the ring bearers.
Yep. Huge issue is, if this goes off, if you have True Courage and you have that 70% and it procs, it will then stop Ring Bearer from running the rest of the fight. So then you're not going to get a 35% chance of evasion in the later rounds, which sucks. Which at the same time, though, see, the issue for me is not even that, Thanatos. Because if I was evading the first 2 rounds using Swan Knights, right? I'm getting hammered by Shadow, by all those, by Undying, doing all the extra, normal attacks. But if I'm evading those 2 first rounds, I'm surviving like a madman. The issue for me is I have to pray that people are running orcs, and I think that's not right. You
gotta speed this up, bro.
So
no, it's a broken relic, but they need to fix it in some way. So
yeah.
I'll put it in looks for that reason. It's broken.
All right. So what do you think, G-Unit? Where do you place him?
Agree.
Sam?
Yeah, agreed.
Jax?
Crash.
Perfect. Next up, Faramir. Faramir's relic. Let's go here really quick. Faramir's relic is called Longbow of the Ranger. Gives command, attack, and then unit attack and unit defense. Ithilien Ambush. In the first 2 rounds, Faramir and this formation's ranged units gain initiative, and their damage dealt is increased by 60%. Where do you put it, Jax?
A tier.
Faramir. Wow, that is kind of surprising, actually. Okay. Where do you put it, Sam?
Yeah, I put it in the B tier for this one.
B tier. G-Unit?
I agree with Sam.
And Thanatos. Gonna be the tiebreaker, Thanatos.
Yeah, for me it's a B tier too, because it synergizes well with his skills.
Okay. I'm gonna have to play him a little bit this next season then to see just how well it does. I mean, I don't have it. I don't have it refined though. I can unlock it. All right. Next up, Vesi's favorite commander. Shall we guess?
Galadriel?
Lady Galadriel. Okay. Lady Galadriel, her relic is called Nenya, Ring of Water. Gives commander HP, focus, commander defense, and unit defense. And the white ring skill. Each round for the first 2 instances of focus damage dealt, gain follow-up healing. Restores 120% HP to the commander's formation unit once. Jax?
Top of meta.
Top of meta. Okay. Sam?
Yeah, I don't have much experience with Galadriel, so I'm just going to go with Jax's opinion. Same
Okay. G-Unit?
I think it's a great relic.
Great. Okay. And Thanatos?
Yeah, I agree. It would be. I used it fully refined. I liked it a lot. It gave me a lot of healing more. But I would put it A tier.
Okay. I put it in A tier for the simple fact that there are quite a few healing block commanders in the meta right now. So in the right places, you can see her doing 50k healing, 55k healing with it fully refined in her, with some command stuff, in her kit. But a lot of times you see her heal like 20,000, 25,000. So for a fully refined and kind of needing that RNG for the heal blocks, I put her at A level. Next up, we got Gil-Galad's relic, the Aeglos. Yep, I said that right. The Aeglos gives command, commander attack, and unit defense, one of those 4. And Blessing of the High King. For each man unit present, this formation's damage is increased by 2% each round. It stacks up to 5 times. So you can you'll get up to 10% damage done for each man unit, for a total of 10% for man units in your army. Okay, for each elf unit present, this formation's units recover 45% once each round. Jax, what do you say on Gil-Galad's relic?
Trash.
Trash, okay. Sam?
I put it mid B tier just because if you invest in it and get lucky, you can get a nice amount of command off it, and then that'll really help to do some kind of unit damage if they ever make it powerful again.
Okay. G unit?
I agree with Sam. Yeah, I would put it somewhere in good.
Okay, and you, Thanatos.
I kind of agree with Jax because if you look at the stats and the skill, I would put in trash.
Okay. I will be the tiebreaker. I'll put it in the B tier because in the current meta, Gil-Galad we're playing him as a tank, and I have his, just unlocked, not refined, not refined, so zero stars on the refinement. And every single fight I get about 1,500 heal on my Swan Knights. So you times that by 6. That could be 8 to 9,000 healing, close to 10,000 healing on your tank unit. In the current build, that gives him more survivability. So because of that, I put him in the good tier. I think it works well with the current meta that we play him. All right, next up we got Gimli, bad boy, little Dain. Okay, Gimli's.
This will be fast.
Yeah, Gimli's relic is the Balin's axe, gives command, HP, attack, commander defense, and unit attack. Oh geez, here I got that's not it. When it's fully refined and you reach the thresholds of 100 attack, you get 12% straight, 12% damage done, and at 50 focus you get keen eye. Jax?
A tier.
A tier, okay. Sam?
I put it in meta.
Meta, okay. G unit?
Meta.
Sorry?
Meta.
Okay, and Thanatos?
Meta. Over Dain for me.
Over Dain, okay. I can see that. Straight 12% is 3% less, but it's straight. You don't have to wait to get hit. Also gives you that keen eye. Can definitely give you that edge versus the evasion. So I can see that. And I think Sistar will be a little bit below, I think. All right, next up we got Glacia's relic. Where is Glacia? We can do this is gonna be very quick. Glacia's relic. Here we go.
Hey, fellow, how's it going?
What's up? Who's in here?
Tip.
Oh, what's up, Tip? Now you're gonna be able to speak your truth for you and Harb. I'm looking.
Yeah. I've got a couple of minutes that work got crazy through us.
No worries, brother. No worries.
So I figured I'd pop in.
Sweet, appreciate it. We got Mystic Touch from Glacia. She gives command, focus, initiative, and then unit defense. And her special ability is called the Mysteria Ritual. Glacia's poison damage dealt plus 3% after an allied unit deals poison damage. What? Stacks up to 10 times and lasts till the end of combat. So you can get 30% Glacia's poison damage dealt, but you need a poison damage unit doing damage. Okay. Jax. Glasha, Jax. What's up?
You dying on me, bro.
You gotta my people at work, and they gotta bear with this for 8 hours of me just coughing all day. It's nasty.
I don't know, man. Maybe, probably trash. Maybe B. I don't know.
Okay. Sam?
Yeah, I put it in trash just because of the limited command troops you have that can actually deal poison damage.
Exactly. That's the 30% is actually nice, considering that she has poison damage. But you're not gonna be running poison damage units all day, you know? So makes sense. G unit?
Yeah, it's bad.
Tip?
Trash.
Perfect. Okay. And Thanatos, you agree?
Trash.
All right. Next up, boys and girls, we got Gorbag. Oh, one of the commanders that they butchered with 2.0. All right, where is Gorbag?
It was special.
He was something else. He was amazing. So Gorbag's Skull Banner gives command focus. Okay, which is nice for the scaling of his skill. Unit attack and unit defense. In his War Veteran skill, increases the defense of this formation's orcs units by 10. Effect modified by commander's focus stat.
By 10, that's true.
Isn't that beauty?
You spend 5K or more for
So bad.
defense.
That is so bad.
I know.
Wow. That is so bad.
The only explanation I could see for this being is if the scaling is by the time when you get like 400 focus with Gorbag, you're like doing 120 extra unit defense. Like, had to be a crazy number for this to even be justified, but it doesn't. I'm pretty sure the scaling of this is pretty horrible. Unless somebody in the chat here has Gorbag with his relic, and please tell us how it scales. Tell us if you're the brave one that got this.
We're curious about it.
We're all very, very curious about this. All right, Jax, where you put this?
Trash.
Can we all agree it's trash?
Yes, we need,
Perfect.
We need to get
All right, next
there's a
up.
lot of relics, but we
Next
gotta move
up, this is a top tier commander in 1.0 that was done even dirty. I mean, I guess they kind of brought him back in a way with the PBE. Where is this dude? I'm talking about Gothmog here, by the way.
It's trash. It's trash. Put it in trash next.
Yeah, I
All
agree.
Trash.
What about Grima?
Good.
10% madness each round, isn't that what it is? 10% chance.
12,
That's
but yeah.
12%. Fully refined, 12% damage, madness chance on Grima's dagger.
Trash. 12%. Again, it's
It's too low. Trash.
too low.
You guys agree? Anybody against?
I'm against that. I think it's probably C or B.
B. I'm assuming this is Tip talking, right?
Yeah, it's indirect damage reduction. I mean, it is a high refine requirement, so like it's still like probably 6%, but just given everything else in the track here, it effectively can do something. High RNG, but I wouldn't say it's trash. I mean, it's a T1 relic. It's pretty cheap on Mithril, but it wouldn't be my first choice. But it's not trash.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question, Tip, real quick? Would you spend $5K on fully refining that?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. You answered my question.
Next, Grishnak.
Grishnak, guys. Who can tell me what Grishnak's relic does?
I think it's bad. I think it's 20 to 40% extra damage upon
I have
launching.
no idea. I have to
Here we
check.
go. Grishnak.
Trash.
Grishnak's skill.
Reapers? I just read Reapers.
Yeah.
Trash.
12% damage dealt by this commander's Reaper.
Next.
Gandalf the Grey.
It's really weird.
Minus 12%. Minus 12% damage
We
received.
gotta vote this. This is a good one.
Yeah, we gotta vote.
All right, let me pull them up.
I just unlocked it yesterday, by the way.
It's 12% unrestricted damage reduction for your entire formation. Your
Yep. So, damage received by the commander's formation minus 12. Leader of the Free Folk gives you, on top of that, gives you a command focus, unit attack,
Yeah.
or unit defense?
I would put it right behind Falcon. I think Falcons is better.
Yes, but the nice thing about this is that it's not race restrictive, right? So
Yeah, but it's not.
Falcons
It's
is
not.
36%
I mean,
though, right? Or 24.
yeah, but if you're running Falcon, like there's no problem with running the Guardians. Like everybody uses that anyway, so I don't think that's like a really some kind of like serious detriment or something. I think that's like
oh no,
doing
definitely, for sure it's not. For sure it's not. It's just it does give you some flexibility if you want to run something else. You know, it's just that's just for that reason alone. Sorry.
Yeah. Actually, I won't disagree. My prevailing point is just it's half the damage reduction of Falcons. I
Yeah.
think they're both great, but I think Falcons is better.
Yeah.
Slightly.
It is. It is. Yeah. I
For
agree.
that
It
alone,
is.
Falcons is better. It's doubles his damage, and you're not forced to run some weak units that kind of the 24% actually becomes like 10% because the unit's so weak. So it's definitely. I mean, I love Falcon's Relic. It's perfect for his kit. I do agree. No, top, middle of A behind Falcon sits pretty well. All right, next up though, bad boy Gandalf the White here in the house. All right, we got the Narya Ring of Fire, gives command focus, unit attack, unit defense, and the Red Ring skill. After the commander launches normal attacks, deals 60% physical damage once and 60% focus damage once. Reduces this formation damage received by 6% when the enemy army includes orcs. Where do we put these guys? Let's start with Thanatos.
Oh.
Thanatos, where do you put him?
Me, it's A tier.
A tier. Tip?
It's the best relic in the entire game. Nothing else is close.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That is a bold statement, my friend.
Yeah, I can explain.
Go ahead.
Very simple. It costs $20, and it is 2 extra instances of White Council clear every round. It only requires 10 missile, and it has command, and it has focus. Again, $20 relic. That's all you need.
Okay. G unit?
I think it's at most in the A tier.
Really? That's interesting. Jax?
Yeah, it is just an A tier. It's just like what you get 2 instances per round for a White Council clear. That's about it. You're not really getting a lot of damage out of it or nothing like that. It's just 2 free hits. It's nice, but not meta.
Okay. Sam?
Yeah, I had it high A or low end meta, so I'm happy with either of them.
The majority here rules, so 4-1. It's interesting. I see what you guys' point when it comes to it's nice. It's probably one of the cheapest, best value for your money relic.
Yeah, definitely.
But what is more powerful in this scenario? A 60% physical damage, hit and 60% focus, or 24% damage reduction on your tank. It seems that the reduction has more value in this case than those. The extra hits are nice, but not the amount that it does. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but you're never gonna get that. Well, not an NRP with orcs. Like that's what? That's never happening.
Yeah. All right. Next up, guys. Haldir's Relic. Do you guys know what Haldir's Relic does?
Unfortunately,
Okay, so his relic, I'll just go over really quick. It's the March Warden Bow. The special skill, elves in the commander's formation gain initiative and their defense plus 18 when battling on woodland. Can we all agree is bad? Yes.
Trash.
Okay.
Right.
What about
it's a meme? We need a companion for Frodo sooner or later.
maybe that one? It looks pretty.
Yeah, him or Haldir. Or
Okay.
him or the Garbag one.
Okay. Hirgon's relic, the red arrow, dual heritage.
Got to take those out of looks because at the end you're gonna put scars list. in
Yeah.
there,
We'll take him out.
Ergon, you don't even need to talk about it. Trash.
It's just
Next.
it just gives 20% healing if you're running man units. Pretty limiting and
I
pretty
agree
poor.
with, Jack.
Trash.
Imrahil.
Next.
What about Imrahil? His is interesting.
Start each round. 100% window. Well,
The relic itself doesn't look
It's an
bad,
interesting relic. Let's say it's an interesting relic.
B. Or, well, yeah, I don't know, man.
right? So you can get debuff, fully refined. How much you guys say it costs? 5,000?
Yeah, it's not definitely never. That's never gonna happen. So I guess it's trash. Nobody's gonna actually do that just to get a fucking no.
And his kit doesn't really require, you know, the whole like debuff. It's nice, but then you might as well just run, you know, the war drummers to get the debuff cleanse. It's free.
Yeah.
It's free. All right, guys. Next up is Isildur. Isildur's relic is actually interesting.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, let's have a look because some of us don't really play him and probably haven't looked at his relic in a long time. Narsil. When it's fully refined, 30% chance for the target to succumb to madness after each normal attack. When your army is composed of only men, remember you have to run only men in this case, lasts for 1 round. Has a 50% chance to dispel a buff from the target when your army is composed of man and elf. So this is very race restrictive.
Yeah, but it synergizes well with Isildur.
Yeah, I think it's maybe A for me.
Okay.
Like a
Sam?
B for sure.
Yeah, put it high B tier.
Okay. G unit?
Yeah, I'd put it at B.
And sorry, I think what about Thanatos and Tip?
Yeah, I think it would be high B or low A. So
Okay.
for me, it's...
One of the two. Okay. I can see that. All right, next up we got Khaldun. You guys know Khaldun pretty well.
Trash. Next.
I
Come on.
trust you guys on that.
Kamul?
Come on.
Trash.
You guys
We would
agree?
have to look into that.
They're utter trash.
I believe Jax. on
It's
that.
I think yeah, his focus goes up or something. If I remember
After
correctly.
basic attack, you get attack.
Oh, and focus increase after each attack. Okay, it's not a meme, but okay, trash.
Looks cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirun?
Kieran, let me go look.
I don't know. I mean, it's obviously it's expensive, but he gets HP increase and damage increase.
I'd say B. B.
No, that's a horrible take.
If troops were relevant, this would be a very, very good relic, but unfortunately they are not. So
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
yeah, it would be probably bottom of B or C. Yeah.
Bottom of B, okay. Bottom of B. Okay, Tip?
C, or trash.
Okay. BC or trash or anything else below. Sam?
Just because of the race restriction, it's trash.
Ooh. All right. So I'll keep it here for now. I feel like I agree with what Unit said. It's troop formation and they're not meta right now, but I just with going along with his kit with his R4 at least. His synergize is okay. 6+ damage is kind of nice. It could take you a few thousand extra damage on that route. I'll keep it there for now. Aragorn, King of Men. I think we can all laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely not the worst thing in the world, but it's just weird how they put this into his kit.
Yeah.
He's a damage dealer, and then upon dealing damage, has a 50% chance to increase damage dealt by this formation's man units by 3% until the end of the battle. Stacks 20 times. So you can increase your man units damage to 60% extra running men. And you have his R4 skill, which gives you 15% extra damage for the first 5 rounds. How do you think this relic sits?
I'll say it before Jax. Trash.
Trash.
Okay. G unit.
Yeah, just doesn't go well with the damage dealing commander. So.
Tip.
Trash.
Who's left? Sam.
Yeah, trash.
Okay. King of this is fun. I want to hear why Tip put this. I'll leave him for last, so you guys see what he said. King of the Dead. He has one of the newest, coolest looking relics in the game now, I think. his relic just looks really, really dope. He has the Crown of the Dead. It stays the same as 1.0. On round 1, deals 1200% focus damage once to one enemy formations and inflicts madness on the target for 1 round. Okay, where do you guys put this?
King of the Dead?
King of the Dead, yes.
Kind
Jack?
of like Scout Relic. I don't know. I'd say B.
Okay.
Has some use.
Okay. I mean, think you're getting 10 Mithril, an instance of madness to, to a whole formation. Not just, it doesn't say units, so it could hit a commander, right? Now, does that mean a whole lot? Maybe not, but just it's at least a free madness instance for just 10 Mithril. Okay. Sam?
Yeah, I put it B. It's a nice hit, but it's likely going to hit either a White Council or possibly some Guild's Evasion if it's
In the current meta, yeah, I could see that happening. G unit?
Exactly what Sam said, yeah.
Okay. Thanatos?
Yeah, I would put it 2 in B tier, and for me it would be Nest tier if it was for just unlocking the relic.
Okay. Tip.
In a tier list for that.
Tip. Tell us why you've put it where you've put it.
So I think kind of preface statement is I was ranking these relics not based on like the commander and the relic, just kind of isolated how it fits into the meta, how it synergizes with a kid, right? I did place this in meta category, right behind Scalhelm. Obviously not because King of the Dead is meta, but yeah, 10 Mithril, you get instance of damage, guaranteed madness, and I think that there's 2 sides to like placing things, right? If they are 0 refine friendly and if they're high refine friendly. And I think this is one of the relics that's both. Not to mention that even in an evasion meta, say a Gil, right? Gil's evasion's only hitting the units, right? So since it's a round 1 madness, it can still land on a commander, and Beorn messes up an incursion. Legolas now messes up an incursion skill. It's round 1 madness, and it's 1500%, so it's going to get reduced by White Council, but still probably going to be 500 to 1,000 damage on a commander on round 1. And you could hit something kind of juicy, so definitely up there for me.
Sweet. Sounds good. I like your intake. All right, guys. Next up, we got Legolas. Where do you guys see? We all know Legolas and Lurtz. Let's do both together. Legolas and Lurtz have the same relic, essentially. They're giving you 120 extra physical damage per round. 120? Let me make sure I got this right.
125.
125%. After normal extra damage on your normal attacks. Where'd you guys place their relics? Let's go with Jax first.
Meta.
Okay, meta. Okay. Sam?
Yeah, I put both of them in meta.
Okay. G unit?
I don't really like set effects on relics that only trigger off normal attacks, so I would say it's at the top of A, but I can see people thinking this is meta.
Okay. Thanatos?
Yeah, I thought I was the strange one that was the only one going to say that was meta, but I agree, both meta.
Okay, and Tip?
A, top of A.
Top of
I
A.
think Galadriel.
Okay. So 3-2. We'll keep them here for now. All right, guys. Next up, we have Mouth Talks. We can all agree that it's pretty bad.
Yep.
Trash.
Okay. Merry and
I
Pippin's.
trust you guys on that.
Trash.
Trash.
Mouth of Sauron.
Trash.
Ooh. No, I have a nice take on that. I think that would be a B tier.
Yeah, B tier.
Because isn't it stun for 3 rounds?
Exactly. Max refined a 60% chance of stunning for 3 rounds. That would be pretty big, in my opinion.
Okay. Tip.
I mean, seeing as we have Galadriel's in B tier, I mean, sure, yeah.
G unit.
Yeah. I think B is good.
Okay. Ogleric's relic.
Trash.
Trash. Everybody agrees.
I have no idea, so I trust Jax on that.
Jax said you said trash as well, Jax.
I don't think it's trash. I think it's B tier.
You say B?
Yeah, just because, if you get the command up, the unit attack, I mean, it's 12% damage compared to, well, what do we got up here? Gimli, I thought that was only 6%, but it's actually 12%. So it's the same thing. I know it's for troops, but as far as relics go, it's usable. So B.
Okay. It is
Plus a
usable.
little heal, I guess, at the end, whatever.
You got some healing as well if you're defending. Yep. Okay. Sam, what do you think?
Yeah, I've not said it much, so I'll go with Jackson.
Okay.
With low NB.
Perfect. Okay, Ori. I love when we see. This is why we gotta be careful when we see reports, and not seeing if things are bugged or not. We're sharing some reports from Ori doing 200,000 unit damage.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you gotta follow the
didn't know
Discord more, Jax.
Is this bugged out?
Yeah, it was. So
No, they fixed it.
it was. So all commanders that had a relic that had something like 20% chance of units doing maximum damage. It was actually switching their minimum maximum to the maximum in the game, which was like 140 something damage.
Damn, seriously?
Yeah, so
Wow.
Ori was
The
doing.
Witch King and Ori, I saw.
Nice.
No, I mean now.
Well, this is 12% to just what? Orcs and dragons? So definitely trash.
So it's in the case of Ori, it's your ranged units, your ranged dwarf units do maximum damage, but their maximum damage is pretty low. So I don't think it's trash because you can play with his. Never mind, it is trash because his kit is pretty bad.
No, it's trash because axe throwers are terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we got Kurwan. Kurwan's relic. Anybody using Kurwan?
You should talk about this one, fellows.
Yeah, I think you guys have more experience.
Yeah, I've been testing Kurwan, and I agree with Jax. I don't think his relic is gonna be anywhere crazy, but his relic does synergize with his kit quite well. So against one enemy formation, damage dealt. So remember, formation, not just unit. Damage dealt -6 against one enemy formations. Damage dealt reduced by an additional 2% for each dwarf, man, or elf unit type present. Stacks to 3 times. So this is kind of similar to Falcon's relic, just kind of a more toned down version. So you can get -12% damage dealt against 2 different -6 on each damage dealt for them. And his kit is all about stats change and damage reduction and debuffs and stuff. So I would say that his relic is at a B level for sure. Where is?
Yeah, you see, at least this relic has a purpose. I mean, you can see relics that reduce like 6 attack.
Exactly. So we're testing him as a tank right now, kind of like a T2 version of Sauron. And he's no refinement, no strengthening, has been doing quite well for our testing. So it's been nice.
Next.
All right, we got Radagast's relic. Okay.
B tier.
It's essentially just like Cirdan's. I mean, it's every round, but then again, it's only for beasts, so it does limit you to what you're gonna use him with. So,
Trash.
I tried this with 4-star find with Great Beast, and it wasn't very much.
yeah, I would have. Yeah, I mean, he will if you got best in slot gear on Radagast, you can potentially get upwards of 100,000 healing. But it is in the right scenario as well.
A relic is not going to do 100,000.
No. It would be no, definitely no, 100% no. That's a combination of all his.
It's basically use eagles or bust, because if you use, like I tried with Great Beast thinking I'll make him a taunt, whatever guy, tank. But then the problem with that is, well, you're taunting the people that have the anti-heal skills. So, get wrecked.
All right, I do think it's quite, it does work with his kit. He has a lot of healing. I just don't think it's that great. All right, anybody else have a different position for this one, or else we'll move forward.
Trash.
All right, we're staying with some of the interesting ones now. We got Saruman up next.
Cool.
Saruman is essentially just like Lurtz and
Yeah, same thing.
and Legolas, just focus damage. Where do you put it, Thanatos?
Same as Legolas and Lurtz.
A meta.
Yep.
Okay. Tip. I know you put a little bit
My last input, I'm gonna put it above Castaro. So,
above Cesar. Okay.
but I gotta head out. So,
All right. Take care, brother. I appreciate you hopping in.
yeah.
See ya.
Take care. All right, G Unit.
I said A for Legolas and Lads because I don't like the relics that only trigger off normal attacks, so I would put it at the top of A, but since we put them in meta, yeah.
Okay, that would at least that it would fit in the right place. Okay, Sam.
Yeah, I agree with the position. It's just another nice White Council shred on Saruman.
Yep. Okay, Jax.
Yeah, it's the same.
Perfect.
I mean, as like I don't know why Cestaro, when you're gonna get 25% damage increase in whatever round 3 or 4, is below Dain, which is how much? 15, and he's also whatever round 2, 3, 4 that he gets it. And Gimli's what, 12%, but it's automatic.
Yep. The reason why it's
Whatever.
I put it this way is because focus damage scales lower than physical damage does. So if if for example, if you get 12% extra damage on focus damage and 12%,
then it's not making sense to put Saruman's above Cestaro's and above 2 physical damage. It would be below those, and if that were
that is
the
true.
theory.
You are correct though.
Yeah, I can agree with Jax on that.
That makes sense.
The other thing about Cestaro and Dain is Cestaro has his nuke in the first 2 rounds, right, with the Nazgul, whereas Dain has Durin's Blood in round 9 and 6, which will benefit from the unique, whereas Cestaro's Nazgul will not benefit from the
Yeah,
unique.
makes sense.
The Nazgul R3s are all, trash basically, but yeah.
Okay. Next up, we got
One thing you guys missed is the percentage on the relic itself.
sorry.
Saruman's is significantly higher than the rest of them. It goes up to 200.
Oh, does it? Oh, didn't know that.
Neither
Does
did
it
I.
really?
Saruman's goes up to
Out
200.
of 125, did it get changed? It says 120 for me.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, it must have went down then. My fault.
All right, so then.
I thought it was 125.
No, yeah, it's 120. It's 120. Just check.
All right, perfect. Okay. All right, cool. Now, next up, guys. Harb, nice to have you, bro. I was trying to find you earlier.
These aces guys, they have important lives. They can't be bothered with such things like this. Trivial.
Yeah, they run America, so.
They have their King's Court, Royal Courts. They're entertaining.
All
Not time for the common people.
Next,
Down here.
next up, we got Sauron's Relic. What do you guys think? For the first 2 rounds, attack and focus of one enemy goes up. From rounds 3 onward, attack, focus, and initiative -6 each round. Stacks each round and cannot be purified.
For me, it's B tier, personally.
Okay. Jax?
Probably B tier because it's good, right? In theory, like you're saying, okay, well, 6 each round, however that much that equals over whatever the last 7 rounds is great, right? You can't beat it, but to put all that money into it to get to that, I'd say B.
Okay. Harb?
I would only have it for stats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, B tier.
Okay. Like it. Okay, next up, Shadow. Minus 30-something% if trolls are present at the beginning of that round. The next instance, they take less, I think like 38% damage. Where do you guys put Shadow? Jax, you go first.
Probably B, because it's just, you don't know what instance of damage that's going to happen on.
Good point. Okay, Thanatos?
I kind of want to put in A tier since now with a lot of cav meta, trolls are beginning to be more relevant.
Okay. Harb?
Reducing Gandalf the White's normal attack by 36%, or the White's not really that significant, and that's odds are what you're gonna get, or a wizard. So probably like the usable.
Okay, so B. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sam?
Yeah, I put it in B as well. Obviously, we've done some testing with it. It's working okay, but it's just okay.
Yep. G unit?
Yeah, it's not that great. B is good.
Yeah, perfect. Next up, Shagrat. I think we can all just move that to
Yep.
the bad one. Sharku.
Also for Sharku, I guess.
Okay.
Sharku, yes.
Scalhelm. Who let Harv go first on this one?
Oh, no. Here we go.
Let's see if we all agree with Harv. Come on, Harv.
I feel like there's gonna be. I honestly don't think there should be that much disagreement. We'll go with meta.
Okay. Anybody oppose?
I'll put it in B tier.
I'm going to say B, because now, before the recent changes, I'd say meta for sure, but now you got this, you got evasion. You got a lot of it. So, makes it tough.
Exactly.
There are lots of problems with this relic. The first one is this can be hit by Sauron Madness. The second one is Gil and Undying Evasion is rough for it. But I would put it in the A tier because I mean it still does damage through the White Council. It's not that bad. But
I mean, also you can make her madness immune at 0 cost, more or less, if you have her to high enough respect.
Yeah, but you would have to have her really like up there. I mean, yes, she is a high investment commander, but in terms of the relic, I think it's like at the top of the A. I don't think this is meta.
I also think she has the best stat in the game on her relic. With initiative.
Initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Harv, it pains me, but the majority has voted that she's A. Man.
That's fine, yeah. It still does damage, whatever.
But I mean, I understand why, it drops a little bit just because of the constant evasion that you're getting now.
I mean, I'm sitting there talking shit about it, and I've already fucking put whatever 3 refines into the stupid
I
thing,
know you
so.
have.
You also get the 6% damage from poison, which is also not insignificant.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I would either say, top of A, bottom of meta for now. It's either or, I think it's still a great relic to have because, like, on the times you don't hit evasion, then man, you're gonna destroy. So, bottom of meta, top of A. I think it fits really well. Theoden's relic, guys.
B tier.
B tier.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
B tier.
I think it's good too. I mean, I saw somebody posting a report earlier today of Theoden doing like 140,000 damage with marshals.
And then you're kind of, I think he has healing too, or somewhere in his skills, and then you get this damage reduction. I mean,
well, he has he doesn't have healing. He has the double attack with Elrond leader. That's what he has. That's what he has. But that's what
you get
synergizes.
So even without, you got whatever you're getting your damage reduction. So I think it's maybe 8. Yeah.
I do think it's pretty solid. It's 20.
We're saying Cirdan and Gandalf the Grey. Well, Gandalf the Grey is already good, but Cirdan is an A, which is probably where it belongs. I mean, this is 25% damage reduction. You're definitely running horses. I think it's A.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's on the wrong horses, Jax.
Well, but still, it's 25% damage reduction. What else does that?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely very decent. I mean, yeah, looks pretty solid. Let's see here. Give me just a second. Yeah, because look at these skills really quick. So you got double damage here, and then I mean, sorry, not double damage, right? So 75% extra, some nice HP for the tankiness, some attack here for your mounted units. You get initiative, and then you get 30% damage increase with the scaling, which I think you can go up to like 40 or something, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta see how it scales again.
Unit, nice.
So it's definitely a nice kit. So what do you think, Tip? Sorry, Harb. What do you think?
Who is it?
Theo.
Theoden.
Minus 24% damage reduction to one of the 4 Rohan units.
I mean, the only issue is you have to run Rohan units,
Yeah.
but I mean, I guess if you're running him for troop damage, then it gives you some sustainability, which goes with his renewed.
Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't refine it, but I would say for what it is, probably in the top of usable.
Okay. Okay. What about you, G Unit?
So I think like Theoden, there are some budget builds. Like some people can't fully equip 2 physical DD commanders, right? Just because of a lack of weapons and stuff. And there's a pretty good budget build with like Gil-Galad, Theoden, tier 2 units, which can trade decently well against some not whaled out compositions. The relic itself, I think it's okay. I would put it in like the B range. It's fine, maybe A, yeah.
Okay. Thanatos, what do you say?
Yeah, B tier.
B tier. Okay. Oh, okay. I see that. Sam?
Yeah, high B tier.
Okay. Okay, that sounds pretty good. All right, next up, Thorin. Thorin's is a disgrace. Here's a guy. Here he comes from somebody that would love to use this Z6 dude more often, but they just we're trying to understand what to do with this guy now. I was talking to Vess yesterday. He's like, the only option I found. I was like, yeah, I mean that's basically the only thing right now is just to help cleanse White Council. That's the only existence for Thorin. So his Oath of the King increases Thorin's damage by 10%. Why do you even want that now? When fighting orcs or Uruk-hai, reduces this formation's damage received by 6% when the enemy army includes orcs. I'm just gonna put this in trash, guys.
Yeah, it's not even orcs or Uruk-hai. It's orcs and the Uruk-hai.
Yeah, exactly.
Trash.
Who's ever rendered that in 2.0?
Ridiculous.
Welcome to the Basura.
All right, what about oh geez, what about Sunins? We didn't do Sunins actually. I skipped Sunins.
You just threw that into looks. I saw you.
I know, it was by accident too. What do you guys think? Jax, what do you think of Sunin?
Sunid, it can be useful. It works. I'd say B.
B?
I use it. I've got it 5-star, and it does what it does. All right. Yeah,
Okay.
it's all right.
What about you, Harb? What do you think? Increases physical damage dealt by this formation orcs units by 12. Reduces by 12 if you're running Evil Man. And when allied beasts are present, increases poison damage dealt by this formation by 20%. What do you think? Where would you put it?
I think the only problem with it is that it's damage dealt by this formation. I think that you would want the beast so that the rest of the formation deals poison damage, or the rest of the army, the other formations. So, I don't know. I would probably just go with whatever Jack said since he's got it refined.
Okay.
I have C8 tuned and she's a sieger.
Okay. G Unit?
I agree with Harp and with Jax.
Sam?
Yeah, same.
And Thanatos.
Yeah, I trust Jax on that.
Yeah, Jax
I
used
don't
this.
know about that.
He used it extensively, so he knows.
Well, now she's been replaced by Cirdan. Well, so it used to be Azra-Cor is always there in the troop damage formation. Isildur is always there in the troop damage formation. And it used to be Cirdan and Sanid, but then Sanid got replaced by Cirdan, and then I threw a damage deal in there to make it viable and actually be able to compete with, Kraken meta formations, whatever. It still loses or draws in a losing way, but I'm not even using that troop damage formation next season. It's just going to be 3 formations.
Got it. Okay. I mean, we're probably gonna end up fixing at some point in the future, so just hold on to that.
Hopefully, yeah.
Most likely will. They know the feedback is just horrible on this. Okay, Treebeard, Natural Force. The commander restores 100% HP to this formation's units once each round. Has a 60% chance to dispel 1 debuff. If this formation is formed of Ent, this effect triggers 1 more time. What do you guys think?
This seems really good, man. I mean, I know it's not usable, but seems really good, especially if you put Ents on it.
Yep. So
this is a tank. Nothing else. Shit.
I think we can put it at bottom of good. The reason I don't think it's that great is because he's supposed to be a damage dealer, so you're not gonna stack him with command. So that means your healing is not as potent. It's nice to hold the spell, but then you gotta run Ents the whole time, which costs you 80 stamina each move.
Oh yeah, those are. Fucking, they're colossal. So that's not every.
I would put it in trash.
Okay.
Still does a pretty. It's the relic itself, taken away that it's totally doesn't work and all this crap with the commander skills and like Thorn or whatever we talk about. Yeah, I think it's a good relic.
Yeah. I think it's just not as bad as some other ones, but yeah, I think Boromir's is probably better. I think. All right.
I mean, I would rather have Imrahil one than Treebeard.
True.
So at least Imrahil can go up to 100%.
Yep. Ugluk. Trash.
Ugluk.
I trust you guys on that.
I mean, Ugluk's relic is actually not too bad.
What is it?
It does. I mean,
is that the Red Devil guy?
No.
Yep.
No, Ugluk is the weak version of Lurtz.
Redbeard.
It's the troop version. It's like the troop formation focus of Lurtz.
This seems pretty good too. I mean, a lower class of the Lurtz, Saruman, Legolas, I guess. Maybe.
Look, he can do from 60 to 180 additional physical damage to targets after using normal attacks.
Yeah, I don't like that range. I would put it in B. I trust you guys on that.
Yeah, I agree on B.
Yeah, the reason why I would put him in A if he had another damage skill. But since he only has 1, I mean, I think if you got it fully refined, you're gonna be hitting about, I don't know, 80,000 of commander damage, 90. But then again, the other skills for Ugluk is all unit damage. You got Outlaw, it's attack. White Hand is attack and defense, so you're not really gonna do yourself much favor there.
Next is Thranduil. Thranduil's trash.
Thranduil is pretty bad.
Trash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ugthak.
Trash.
I thought this guy. This is the Red Devil.
This is the Red Devil guy. Yeah.
I thought this was gonna be something. This relic, because this relic seems pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
10 stacks, so 60%. And I tried when 2.0 came out. I put best in slot or whatever, and did all that, but it just didn't scale. It wasn't very good.
Now let me have a look here. Something.
It seems like it would be really good though, looking at it on paper, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
The issue here is you gotta stack for Searing Axe and his relic to really do well. You're gonna have to stack focus on this dude. And the weird thing is your top R0 is physical. So unless you can kind of stack like one, I don't know, like 200 focus with like 150 physical with attack, you can potentially see some nice damage coming from this. But I don't think you.
I tried, but it just didn't. It didn't work out, man. I had him 250 focus, 50 to 54 damage. It just didn't work out, man.
Really? Wow, that's sad. So, So where would you guys put his relic? I mean, I don't think it's bad because it goes with his kit. Either I'd say bottom of good or top of bad. What do you guys think?
B.
I think it's trash because of burn damage. But again,
Okay.
I trust you guys on that. So my vote, please don't count it.
G-Unit, what do you think?
I mean, the relic itself is good, but it's like Law said in the chat before, 60% times 0 is still 0, so yeah. If we just rate it on the relic, it's probably in the B tier.
Where'd Law say that at? I don't see that. Oh, is he in the regular
It's
chat?
up there. It's 100% of 0 is 0.
I see Numenorian and Suitor, some pirate guys. We'll
Yep.
be playing with them next season, hopefully. What's up, fellas? Alright, who's next?
All right. Oh, jeez,
Oh,
go.
there's a controversial relic right now.
Undying.
Ooh.
This one I think is really good. I think this one is very unique, and you fully refine it. You maybe get 3 times in a fight that you're going to madness. A formation, I think it's really good. Maybe meta, yeah.
I'll say meta,
Okay. Sam?
straight up.
Yeah, I was low meta, high great, so I'm happy to put it in meta.
Harb?
Top of good.
Top of good. Wow. Is that change from everybody else? G-Unit?
I think this is arguably one of the best relics in the current version of the game.
Yeah, me too. I think the same.
Yes, maybe I'm biased, but yesterday I saw this relic on a fully refined commander hitting madness 3 times in a row in 3 rounds. I know the chances are super low, but I was impressed by that.
Yeah, it's the beauty of
It's
the...
very unique, and it's RNG, of course, but there's nothing really like it except maybe one other relic. And if you can get at least 3 times in a fight, I think that's pretty good.
It's the beauty of the evil RNG, CC RNG. Okay.
It's just like a curveball out of nowhere that you can't really account for. You can't do anything really about it outside of the madness immunity commanders that have those skills, right? You just don't,
Okay, so 4 of you said meta, so we'll leave it at meta for now. Next up is the Witch King.
Trash.
2 days ago was S tier.
Yes, it was. It was causing crazy damage. Okay, trash from Jack. Sam?
Yeah, trash.
Harb?
Ditto.
Okay, G-Unit?
1 second, I just have to check something on this.
All right, so Thanatos? In the meantime?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's trash. I tested on 1 account. I didn't really like the results.
The thing is, it really needs very high the thing is, there are a lot of things that we have put in here that some of them need high refine to actually even work. So I'm gonna remove my comment from this analysis. We're gonna do another either live or video where we're gonna talk about, for example. I'll leave that comment for the end, so I won't get into this right now.
Yeah, Witch King is trash, I agree.
Okay.
About the Undying, obviously, like, this requires really heavy investment, so it's, like, if we, as you said, if we compare, like, something like, I don't know, Gandalf the White's unique with the Undying unique.
Yeah, but
like,
that's...
obviously you're gonna, yeah.
No, I was gonna say the reason I'm gonna say something. I was just right now we're just looking at full potential, right? We all know any of these relics will cost a lot of money to get. So, for example, we're gonna do another video where we're gonna talk about what are the we're gonna rank these, but by like best, best bang for your buck. And so this will change. This tier list will change. You're like, okay, I'm a free to play, low spender. I can only get 4 relics unlocked. Where should I focus my 40 myth row? These are the 4 that we think are the best for the investment. So there are different ways of looking at this. Right now, we're only looking at full potential according to the commander that we're looking into. So that is why you know, even looking at Boromir's or, you know, looking at Dwalin's fully refined, it's still 20%, you know, chance of doing 100% damage. It's just bad all around. So that's the analysis we're going with. So thank you for that, Unit. All right, the last two guys, Yuzra and Zegrid. Yuzra has...
I think both can go in the same place, which is trash.
No, I disagree.
You think Yuzra is pretty good?
Yuzra's is very good. Like, I'm sorry, we're talking relic only and what it does.
Yeah.
What beats this? 3 rounds of 2 attacks. What? How is this not a good thing? Zegrid is not bad either. I mean, 24% madness on each round on a mounted. You know, I mean, it's not terrible.
All right, so let's go Yuzra.
It's mounted.
Let's go Yuzra first. So Jax said, where would you put Yuzra's, Jax?
Just ranking relics, which we're doing, it's great.
Okay. Sam?
For user, I put it in B.
B. Harb?
I mean, Evilmen kind of are trash if you're not running all cav, which isn't sustainable, so probably in trash.
Okay. G Unit?
Unit damage and specific troops, but I mean it's a pretty good effect, so I would put it in B.
B. And Thanatos?
Trash.
Oh, we got 2. We got 3. So, I'm gonna have to put it over here, guys, just because you got it was 3-2. Okay, either top of C, bottom of B. You guys take your pick here. Last but not least, we got Zegrid. Let's see, Jaxie, you said it was madness to cavalry.
I think so.
All
Look
right.
at it. Pull it up.
So Plunderer's Flame. Each round against one enemy formation mounted units, 24% chance to succumb to madness.
The units are
Just the units.
That's not that. Yeah, that's
If it was, I don't know, like mounted
Thought it was-
formation with a commander, mounted for commander on it as well. But yeah, useless. I agree. You know, you don't really care about getting a unit mad anyways in this meta. What is it gonna do? Scratch your White Council with like 1 damage?
Yeah, exactly. So now we got to get Star in here to put all these in the looks. She already did it. You got to throw it up.
Well, where is she?
I don't know.
She got away, I guess.
She sent it to you, right?
She did. So
Like
I can pull it. Let me save this really quick so we don't lose this one.
Said you're gonna do it, so yeah, throw it up.
Let me just save this baby right here. Give me a second.
So it's you look at this list, right? And we're not experts, but we pretty well know what we're talking about, right? It's very kind of sad, right? You know, you look at this and you got, what is it in the top 2 categories? How many is that? Like 12, 13 or something?
13, yeah.
And it's out of those, right? 12 or 13 at the top, the investment, the return on investment, the ROI, what is it really bringing you off of most of those? Not a lot.
No.
And then look at the other 40 or something in the bottom. My goodness, man. Like, this is if I'm running this company, I'm like, this is a problem. We got to look at this and make these great. Like, we got to put some time and effort into and rework these so they actually do something beneficial and work, so we'll make more money by doing so, right?
Yep.
You get a ton of ROI on Gandalf the White.
Yeah, that's true. There are a few here that, you know, just unlocking them gives you really good ROI. I mean, if you look, for example, Gandalf the White, there's 2 instances of damage, but then again, you have the same situation with Saruman, Lurtz, and Legolas, which is not 2, it's just 1, but also just unlocking it gives you the extra damage to clean off White Council. You get the same with Scalhelm, you get the same with, let's see who else.
You also get the ability, and I know this is a more higher level thing or higher investment thing. And just some of these having the ability to put 24 damage on Dain, 90, 120 command for Sauron, etc., etc. Being able to put more initiative on Sunand, or Scouthelm, excuse me. That also has a benefit to it.
Definitely.
And that way, all of the relics universally work, and they've done a good job for that. But the effects
For
are
the stats
issue,
alone.
right?
Yeah.
Because you could say, like, you're in charge of this, right? You're in charge of this development team, whatever. You could make commanders great again just by making their relics great. Because you could make a commander's relics effect so powerful that the commander itself becomes meta, right?
Well,
Yep.
I mean, you kind of have that with, like, I mean, you have, like, Undying, which gains essentially of what Deceiver, or not Deceiver, but Lord of Gifts is.
Yeah.
If not maybe a little better, because, you know, Lord of Gifts has to cool down in Undyings every round.
Yeah.
You have Gandalf the White, which gained a quasi effect of, like, Undertaker for Shadow. So, like, there are some of these that are based off of other skills for other commanders, which provides a benefit because it's essentially a fourth tree. And Lurch, Saruman, Legolas are all the same. Gimli's
but-
Pursuit, which is good.
The issue is it's not happening enough. That's the issue. There's so many worthless and unusable relics on this list. It's quite disheartening.
Yeah, I agree
This is
with
the
Jack.
most special thing. This is the most special thing in the game, right? This is the thing that requires the most time, the most investment, the most love, right? From you, the owner. And it's just, for what? What are we doing this for?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
They could have done a lot better. I mean, the thing is, since the release of Relics, they've never been reworked, you know. So let me give you a pretty clear example. Like you're trying to get people to play NRP now, but a lot of these relics require you to run a specific troop that you probably don't want to run in NRP. So there are a lot of things that I feel they need to rework to make these relics better. You know, so.
Clean,
Yeah.
very demure. They're cooking.
Yeah, I don't like the strengthening personally of the uniques. I don't like that.
It's horrible.
Let's say
Horrible.
gambling effect. I think
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's not even gambling, because you lose like almost everything when you try to
Reforge.
strengthen
Yeah.
it again,
Yep.
right? Like that's
Right.
insane. You're literally like losing money just because you're getting unlucky. And I mean, it's okay if they said, like, I don't know, okay, if you want to reset this, you have to pay 5k gems or 10k gems, but you lose like so much stuff. It's ridiculous. I mean, this just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And they still haven't even like remotely addressed the basic core issues of the game, which they were told about 1.5 to 2 years ago, when 2.0 was in the beta phase, and everyone complained about the troop damage. I mean, they haven't done anything to fix that, so it's.
yeah, but I think that's intended. But regarding relics, I think relics should be the gem of the commanders. I mean, let's say, let me take an example. Dain
Correct.
does 100k. With the relic, you will get 20k more damage. I mean, you need to advertise that in that sense. I mean, if you get that relic for that commander, it enhances his skills. We know that some effects on some relics haven't been changed since 1.0, and they're still broken or are useless.
Yeah,
So you're not even advertising them.
That kind of links with my point, right? When we talked about the Yusra unique, for example, or the Kiron unique, if they fixed the troop damage, I think a lot of these uniques would be in a better place than they are right now. You know,
Yeah, they would.
of course there are some which are completely unusable, and like Elrond and Thorin. If you change a commander, you obviously need to change the relic as well. You can't just keep it the same as it was before. But yeah, it's not good. Like most of these relics are basically unplayable, and no one would ever spend the amount of money you have to spend to get them fully refined and strengthened. So
It seems like
they
they're
did.
missing- It
They
seems
did
like they're
try
missing-
to. Go ahead.
It seems like they're missing the point here. Aesthetically, they look great. They look fantastic. You pull up your commander, also looks pretty good. But usability is completely lacking, right?
Well, they did try to address troop damage. They just underwhelmingly did it with the last PvE, right? You
That's
have
true.
15% more damage. You have skills modified by command. The only problem is when you multiply something, or when you multiply 0 by anything, it's still 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly what we saw, even with the Witch King bug and the Ori bug, which was a completely ridiculous unit percentage damage increase. Those armies still regularly lost to some of the normal damage dealers, which is just crazy to think about. And that was
Mhm.
like a horrible bug, right? Where the troops did the max damage in the game
Yeah.
and
127 damage, and they
Exactly.
did 120k damage.
I mean, in that same breath, when 2.0 first dropped, you had Bow Knights with Theoden, Eomer, and Azra-Cor, and it was essentially an RNG potential infinite damage loop, with Azra-Cor doing burn damage after range attacks, and Theoden doing follow-up after horse's attack, and they would proc off each other until one of the 50% chances missed, and that still did not do as much damage as Dain on average.
exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
It's because before used to be damage dealers. The amount of damage they did was based upon how much health they had left in their troops or how many troops they had left. That just disappeared, and now
Well,
they just do no matter what. So that's
You
the
also
problem.
have the issue of if I have a fully refined Adun and I have a fully refined Palantir, I can increase Dane's damage on a max damage roll by 300%. I could have 1,000 command. I mean, I think my Sauron's got 800, 820, something like that. And the most you're going to be able to increase troop damage with essentially max command in the game, because you can't go higher than that, is by 40%.
Yep.
That's also one of the main discrepancies. And as long as damage reduction and damage dealt is both linked to command, you can't really take it higher than that because, I mean, what are you going to do? Have 120% damage reduction? You can't do that. That's another part of the issue here.
Yeah.
And the troops don't have titles or skills that attack multiple formations themselves, right? Like the troops that everyone uses. Whereas Dain can hit 2 formations for 700% damage in round 3. I mean that alone it just can't work. Like it's just they implemented something and they won't be able to fix the troop commanders in this version of the game.
I mean, you also have the issue with stuns and madness as well, right? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I know you can get like March Wardens that are stun immune, but say you run into Skullhelm, White, Dain, Sauron, all of them have stuns, right? So, I mean, by the time you're actually able to get all of your units firing, I mean, they're going to be half dead, and then you've lost half your damage. And to Jax's point, the damage commanders are going to be doing full damage because they don't die until the troops die.
But I want to ask you guys a question that I always ask to people that tell me they need to fix troop damage commanders. What if tomorrow they wake up and do an update and they switch the troop damage? Now troop damage commanders are meta again. Do you think the community can hold after all the changes they have made now that everyone has damage dealing commanders?
For
Or
this,
they would just
yeah,
be angry?
No, for
It would
this
have
they
to be a
would.
full 2.0 release.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
same thing
that
happened.
one thing, which is fixing troop damage, yes, I think they would be acceptable of whatever they had to do because so many people want it and desire it, and it brings balance and diversity to the game, which we desperately need.
Yeah. They're gonna need.
But
They
in the
would
same
need to
breath,
do.
how many people that nuked their Isildurs or Gil-Galads or Karoons to bring up a Dain at 2.0 would then be like, I need another 2.0 conversion.
Yep.
How many people put gear into relics that were the Hunter's Guide, the Ranger's Shroud? How many people have worn those out?
You would definitely have to do the 2.0 and give us all the vouchers and conversion pieces to be able to go back and do everything over.
Yep.
That goes with the thing. You
And
can't
again,
do that.
I don't think we will ever get that again. I don't think we will ever get it.
Yeah, they destroyed Thorin and give you 10 respect items. I don't think that's great. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they changed one skill of Beorn, and you could have had vouchers for him, and they did nothing for Elrond and Thorin.
You know what we need? You know how you have like the comedians, comedians of the world, and comedy stores, and you go watch a live comedy, live comics, whatever. We need a comic who plays this fucking game and talks shit. That's what we need. Has a routine about this. That's what we need.
To be fair to the devs on the 10 items, the vouchers that we got were not from the PvE. They were from the fact that they changed the R5 skills to now be R4. So if you pushed a commander from R4 to 5, it was 10 items, and they were giving you those items back since you no longer needed them. And then the T2 vouchers that we got, like the conversion, was for if you got specific items to ascend certain commanders. The real issue with that is the fact we didn't get any vouchers for PvE. It just so happened they released the PvE update at the same time as they did the T1, T2 buff and the R5 being demoted to R4 or unlocking it earlier.
Yeah, you're right about that, and I don't mind the 10 item vouchers of the commanders that got improved titles or weren't changed significantly, but I can only say, like from my side, last season I played Thorin in my second army, and he did pretty well. He could dish out like 110 to 120k damage quite consistently, which isn't bad. And I used him for my second army, so it's not that big of a deal for me, but I know a few people also used him for the first army, and the same is true for King Aragorn and some of the others, right? And if you completely change like how a title works in a commander, I don't really understand why you wouldn't provide people with the opportunity to redecide whether they want to continue with that commander in the future, right? Like that's just something that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I understand that they are a business, and the full universal refund vouchers are probably not realistic, which is perfectly fine, but I mean, if they change the commander completely, that just has to be something to keep players going. Like, I know people who have played Thorin in the main army, and they dropped significantly in terms of the viability now, right? Because they don't have like 20 commanders at Zenith 5 or 6, and this is just a shame for the community, Like, it's weird. I don't really understand that.
I understand your point, the G unit, but as you said, this is a business, and I've never seen in mobile gaming something like the voucher system that they just gave. I think we are kind of spoiled from that voucher system that we got, because usually the mobile gaming business would be, hey, look at this commanders, wow, this is meta. Okay, the next commander we release is meta again, is the new meta.
Yeah.
And after 3 months that people have spent on that commander, they will say, hey, I'm sorry, we passed this commander, but we will release another commander who will be meta. So people continue spending on that.
Well, so I mean, on that note, it's crazy that this game went, like, we completely, like, you had Sunan come out, but after that, you completely skipped power creep from introducing new commanders and went to moving benchmarks.
prior to the most recent PvE, if you wanted 3 full skill trees, you needed to get to Zenith 6. They moved that benchmark down to R10, and all the people who pushed Z6 to get 3 skill trees, I mean, yeah, you have like what? I think it's 4 points, 3 points in the 4th tree, which may be useless now, and that's also respect if it doesn't get to be moved.
Yeah.
Everything that happens, I swear, the word of the day, everything from the commander, some of them, the way that their skills, some of their relics interact, way that this company does things, it's just so counterintuitive all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. That's my biggest problem. To address Thanatos' point, yes, I absolutely agree with you. But if you give people full universal vouchers at one point of the game, it's reasonable to expect that once you rework commanders, there's going to be a similar compensation. Because if you can't base your investments on any baseline within the company, then it's quite risky to spend further money on the game, right? So, and the other point, I mean, if they release one commander per year, you can't really have that situation where every new commander is going to be really good, right? The games who usually release a lot of commanders or heroes or whatever, they really release strong and powerful heroes, but there are multiple per year, right? In this game, the extra content is just so limited. Like the last year, we only got Azog, I think, right? Was there any other commander in the last year? I think that was the only one.
That's the only one.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the Harad faction personally.
But like, which commander that they released post-launch, besides Sunand, was a top tier?
None.
Like
it was. I mean, it was Sunand was the top tier one. Then you got Oldberg and Azog.
Yeah. No, yeah, but again, I understand that it's difficult to introduce new commanders. I mean, I guess they have some limitations due to the lore, and they don't want to create a commander that never existed. But again, I think the vouchers that they gave to us, that was a result of a old development team that changed. Personally, this is my opinion. And then a new development team came in, and they did some things that I think were changing my perspective on them. Let's say, for example, they changed Legolas out of the blue. We didn't even test him in PvE. And Legolas is a fan favorite commander. What I would have done, it would be, hey guys, we changed Legolas. Here's a chest with Legolas. Like that. Or they should do that, in my opinion. Like, hey guys, what favorite commanders do you guys have? Hey, here's Sunand. We changed her skills. Here's a chest for her. I mean, like, even the release of Azog, I mean, people looked at him and said, yeah, okay, next.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't good, yeah.
He didn't even have a good profile picture.
I'm still a firm believer if people's favorite commanders are remotely playable, they would spend a lot of money on those commanders.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're missing out on financial opportunities, but I haven't run a mobile gaming company in the past, so that's just my personal opinion.
Things just feel a little bit everywhere with this game. Let me give you some ideas here. I understand what Thanatos said, and I agree. You know, I don't agree, but I understand because it makes sense. You know, we got those vouchers when 2.0 hit, so the company kind of created an expectation on us every time they make some kind of tweak, right? And you say, well,
And Galadriel.
you know, that's what I'm going to mention now. It's like, well, 2.0 is a big change. You know, you can't expect those kinds of vouchers or things for everything. Well, we got better vouchers when the healing got changed than when 2.0 hit. When 2.0 hit, we had 50 respect items per voucher to get. When they tweaked the healing formula by a little bit. They gave us full refunds on like 10 commanders. Any commander that had healing, Arwin, Galadriel. They also gave on Eomer and Theoden because they changed how, or all the commanders I think that had what you call yes, like the double follow-up stuff. Right.
The T3 respect on that was actually the same as 2.0, or had the same potential. When 2.0 dropped, you could take a commander from R25 to R3, and when if you had a Galadriel at R25, you could take her down to whatever the tips was. I think mine's R1.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was the same amount because I think she was the only T3 that was impacted.
Yeah. So I mean, I had a friend that had a Z4 Galadriel, and she went down to R1, right, with one voucher. So it was like basically a complete wipe to the minimum to the minimum that they allowed you to. You know, I think it was R1. Yeah, I think it was R1 at the time. So we got better vouchers from that change than we did from 2.0, because 2.0 you had 15 vouchers that you can get 50 no matter the level. Where I remember people wiped Theoden, people wiped Eomer from their roster, people cleaned off Azra-Cor, they cleaned Galadriel, they also cleaned Arwin. How many people completely wiped their Arwin? Shout out to Oscar the Grouch, he wiped his Arwin, you know, and it was special. It was special. That Arwin was nasty 1.0. So the thing is, the company kind of created this expectation in us, and whenever they make a significant change to a commander, they're like, okay, you guys can rework this guy, so because now we changed the way you play. But this time around, at least for two examples, Elrond and Thorin, those guys, they completely changed how they play. It would make sense to give some kind of way to get some things back. But even at this point of the game, go ahead.
Same kind of thought on Sauron too, right? How many people are like, oh, I have 1.0 speed items, I can run a meta Sauron, and now don't want to run Sauron.
Yeah.
I personally think that is a bug fix that was not intended.
Yeah, but I mean, it went long.
long.
It went on for like so many seasons. Now, but my biggest issue with this is just how broken the game is right now. You know, in two aspects. Let's look at the commander. I mean, three aspects essentially. The commanders in the game are not usable. You can look at anybody's tier list, even in a not very experienced player. They know that 80% of the commanders are just bad. And I'm not comparing it T1 to T3 like 1. I think 1.0, I don't think they intended to Dwalin and Khaldun to be the top commanders. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was not, from an economic perspective, that was not profitable for them.
It does. So I think 1.0, they didn't really calculate how, like, the impact. Because, I mean, I was running Balin before people were starting running Sunins everywhere, taking out 10 to 15 armies by himself because everybody was running melee units on the evil side. So I don't think they intended for things like this to happen. But then again, now 2.0, 2.5 we have, and 80% of the commanders are just bad. Look at both the T3s on good side and evil. People don't run them. People don't run Beruthiel. People don't run Thranduil. People don't run Treebeard. They don't run King of the Dead. They don't run Thorin. They don't run Sunan. They don't run Kirun. They don't run Black Serpent. All these big names that you're supposed to want to go after, you're avoiding because they are just bad. Evil has 2 damage dealers on the T3 roster. Sorry, 3. You got Scalhelm, you got Sestaro, and you got Saruman. Right? That are really, really the heavy damage dealers. And then everything else is kind of meh. There's really not much after that. So they should start focusing on actually fixing things, you know. Let's make the commanders better. Not touch the relics for now. Not touch the new seasons. Not touch the gameplay. Let's just fix the commanders. Make it so at least the T3s are worth the investment. After that, they gotta fix the units. The troops right now are just garbage. In TE, it's pointless to even play. You know, it doesn't change the scale of the fight by using the elite skills.
Yep.
-5, +5 attack, +5 defense. That's nothing, right? So the whole fun of TE back in the day when you had to, go after the bosses to get the gold, or the Krakens could, sell their gear for the gold. All of that is gone. Then fix the units, make them diverse. I know for a fact they used to have. How you guys remember seeing these? There were, undead, like Oathbreaker type of ranged units and cavalry units as well. They've never released those. So I don't know why they keep changing things in the gameplay, the passes and all these things, when the reason why they're playing this game is to PvP. They need to fix the PvP aspect of the game, make the commanders playable, and everybody's gonna go back to spending money. Even the people that are not the big Krakens, I'm sure people are still wanting to get their commanders better. But when you basically have, if you have a R10 formation with Gandalf the White, let's go with the kind of the newish meta with Gil, Gandalf the White, Sauron, and Dain. You are set, because that's what everybody else is running.
I've changed my idea on that. I can talk about that. I've changed my idea.
On the meta formation.
Yep.
So whatever, let's say in your opinion the meta is still Sauron, Beorn, Dain, and Gandalf the White. Get all of those to R10 and you're done. You don't have to really do much because you're limited by barracks. So running 3 formations like Jax does, I'm assuming that after a few hits here and there, you're gonna be hours until your barracks are full again. So then you got your time constraint. So you're either running a whole formation or 3 formations. The barrack limit's the same, so you're constrained there. So there are a lot of things that they could work on and just make the game better. And it kind of blows my mind that this just drags on and on and on and on. Azog was probably supposed to come out 1.5 years ago, if not 2 years ago. And it's only now that we have him.
It would have been really good, in my opinion.
What?
It would have been really good. Actually.
He would have been. Imagine back in 1.0. 1.0 troop formations were amazing. And evil didn't.
Falon was the best commander in 1.0.
No, yeah, because of that hammer again. But they released that hammer again. That was a decision because they said, "Yeah, let's release this hammer," and I'm sure they knew back in their head that people would want to spend to get that hammer to give it to Khaldun and Dwalin and say, "Ooh."
Well,
That's
you can also
broken.
get it on the Morgul Blade, which was with original release.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, but they
White
publicized,
Knight
they advertised the hammer a lot. They also put it in Season Pass and so on. Again, it was a more common item that you wished for.
Sadly, it feels, I think I mentioned this before, it feels like they removed the original developing team that, with all the flaws that they had, probably had passion for the project and were actively working on. That's why we had that 1 year anniversary live stream and all that cool stuff happening. And you can see a huge change, coincidentally, when Rise to War was greenlit to be released in Asia. That's when you saw the dip in dev updates, you saw the dip in communication. As soon as it was greenlit to be published in Asia, something happened that then you can easily tell that the dev team was changed multiple times.
But also, I would like to point out a point that someone in the comment section said, which is AO, and it's a problem that carry out from 1.0 to still now. Again, there's people coming into the game that after 1 or 2 seasons they quit because when they hit back end, they hit people like us or people that have played with us. They don't stand a chance. And again, I would have personally solved this by looking at other games where you create a sort of elite or how do you call it in Call of Duty? It's like classified or
like ranks and stuff. Yeah.
Something like that. But they're doing it even not with their knowledge. I mean, NRP it's becoming the highest level of the game, and then RP it's becoming the lowest level of the game, where some players can experiment with troop commanders because the level is lower. But the point is, it's that new players start us on RP, so they get the feeling that the game could be on RP, and then if they want to survive and really like the game, they would have to go to RP.
It just, I just don't think, although the whole ranking system would be nice, I just feel the game doesn't have enough players to do that. The matchmaking, right? Talk about matchmaking and playing.
No, I'm not talking about matchmaking, but I'm saying like I don't know. You defined some warbands at the top level, and you give them I don't know special badges or things like that. Let's say that for youths is a top tier fellowship in the game, fellowship warband in the game. And you give them a special badge that they can create, and it represents their warband. And they can enter only as youths in this season, where they confront with other top tier warbands.
Yeah, it would be. I like that idea. I just don't think we have enough. The game has enough players to sustain that. Sadly.
But again, even if the fellowships are the same, people would love that. I mean, again. Would be high level PvP, would be high intensity PvP. I know it would be problematic maybe from a diplomatic standpoint, but you can create a season with new bonuses on that. Maybe, I don't know, 300 tiles don't generate what? They do 2k per hour. Now they do 4k. I don't know, double the resource. Or something like that. I mean, if people want PvP, give it to them. At the high level.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that they could do. I think the fans are still loyal to the game, and if they just worked on the things that the game needs improved on, commanders, troops, and then the gameplay, I think we all be much happier. I mean, I would love to play King of the Dead again. He was such a fun commander to play. I would love to put him, back in my formation and finding a way to make him work, but right now it's just not possible. That's how it is.
Hey, he had a grand 3.5 days of being top tier meta in 2.0, and then they nerfed Oathbreakers from 90%.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had Mills, he had like a Zenith 3, King of the Dead. He went to go fight Steppe for like 2 days, having the time of his life. We're always going to get Oathbreakers. They're so good. Put them on everyone. They don't die. Bam. Nerf to the ground.
Nobody runs them now. It's ridiculous.
But I mean, that's the monotone of the game and the lack of counters, right? Like that was a prime physical damage counter that's gone.
Yep.
2.0, the greatest warlord the game has ever seen. Killed more people, has more merit than anyone ever.
Yep. And the funny thing is, it was just the slogan. I bet they were just they were just mocking us. Make all commanders great again. Are you serious? 1.0 was that. You guys just made 85% of the
was that.
Yeah, I mean, you can run so many. I mean, come on, Evo. You could run Grima, you could run Gorbag, you could run Yusra. You could have run. You used to run Gothmog, Mouth of Sauron. Even the Shadow was decent even back in 1.0. Lurtz was, for Evo, he was decent. You had Witch King, you had Sauron with the focus build or the unit build. You had You know, who else? He had Black Serpent that did pretty decent with with Mumakil. Kieran got nerfed quite early on, But then on the good side, then you got Evasion Gil. You had Gandalf the White, Galadriel, you had Dain, you had Isildur, who was a beast. Gandalf the Grey with the troop build and the anti-Witch King build. You had Dwalin, you had Khaldun again. Faramir was great. Faramir was amazing with the right build. You had Theod, who did pretty consistent. You had Balin Retaliate. You had Gimli. You had there was so much variety back in 1.0.
I mean,
Yeah, because the game
would
was
agree that,
balanced
right?
in that way.
You would agree that, right? Because if you gave me the correct Dwalin, Sauron, and Gandalf the Grey, I could kill anything in the game. Depends if I hit the right counter.
Exactly, but that's what people loved about it. People are like, "Ooh, I'm gonna have to hit these guys with a dummy army to see who's here." Then I choose which commander I send. Now it's
There
just
was a strategy of the
They ever
game.
did in the game, being able to see war reports and sort it via tile instead of having to sort it via fellowship reports.
Yeah.
it was nice, man.
Yeah, again, it was like a naval battle. I mean, you were choosing which fights and so on. I mean, you saw Agrima, you were not going there with Dwalin.
Yep.
You saw Witch King with Alchemist, probably Dwalin without burn protection. You were not going there or going to change gear for that. I mean, we're missing key things that we had. I mean, the countering system, I think it could have been improved, but it was wonderful in my opinion.
Yep.
I mean, you were playing essentially chess to 2.0, which is pay to win checkers. At the end of the day, whoever's got the bigger formation, everyone's
it's not
running
even
the same
pay to win.
field.
Yeah, exactly. It's what formation. You can even have a Z20, I don't know, Imrahil. What it's gonna do? I mean, or another T3 that is useless. I don't know. You can have, you can have a Zenith 20 Elrond, but without March Wardens, he's useless. I mean, I understand that different skills
With
to R10.
but it's agreed on the same concept.
That's I think the concept of 1.0 was it was fun to play. Now, I mean, I'm not even wanting them to go back to one commander, per army, because it's not going to happen. I mean, I would love if they did, but they're not going to. But
No.
just you guys, they are giving us a much worse game than we had. Okay, you changed it, fine. You want us to play with 4 commanders, fine. But we downgraded so much that it's just...
Well, the real downgrade was the options that you had. You went from having skill trees with sub-skills and gear with unique sub-abilities to very bland, 5% more damage.
Yeah.
Oh, you have 4 total skill trees. You can't... It's not going to be able to be unique enough to that point. And then additionally, having 4, you kind of can cover the weakness of everyone else. Regardless who you run, having Gandalf the White and having Sauron or Gil to do mitigation so that your 2 damage commanders, of which one's probably Dain, who does the most damage, arguably. You know what I mean? Like, they cover each other's weaknesses to the point that there's not going to be much variety that you can do, because they all have to fill the same roles. Versus even like Rangers Rise, I mean, there were some very busted combinations in Rangers Rise, like Khaldun and Theoden, or Elrond and Gil, but all of them could still be killed. It just, you had to hit them with the right.
But it was a different concept. I would have preferred a Rangers Rise season. Like, my ideas that I had at the time was, I mean, why do you have to change the commander system? Create another season with a different system, like Rangers Rise, or another season with the system of 2.0, and people choose what they want to play. Again,
because of the gear. They were playing down the gear.
No, I agree on that. But again, you could have left a chance in some way, or...
But Jax gave the answer to this problem 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago, when 2.0 came out. If they wanted just to make more money, all they had to do was release more commanders. You know,
Yep.
Yeah, but I
that's
think they're
all they
limited on
needed to
that.
do.
I
But
think
they
they're
went-
really limited on that.
But they completely skipped that. I mean, releasing more commanders is the definition of power creep, right? Release commanders that are good enough to be used. They skipped that completely and went right to moving benchmarks and changing what was good completely.
Yeah.
And by not doing it through releasing more commanders, and then if you bleed it, let's say you release 3 new commanders, that also doesn't stop you from buffing Thranduil or buffing Beruthiel or whoever else was trash. You can release 3 and buff 1.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Yeah,
nerf
exactly.
anyone else. You can leave them the same, but just bring everyone else up to a playable level instead of changing the game to what we are now, which is a far worse version.
They could
Yeah,
have
exactly.
also increased the maximum respect levels, added additional skill trees. You know, there were so many opportunities to expand upon the 1.0 situation if they were looking to make money, but
Drop
just
new
is-
gear with new abilities.
exactly drop new gear, and they just decided to
It
completely
just
change
doesn't
everything for
make
no reason.
sense.
It's just always
So many
counterintuitive, bro.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
I never saw. Go ahead, Philip.
I was gonna say, you guys talked about the subject of licensing and the whole. A also said this. There's also copyright issue with commander release. Yes and no, because where does Sunan come from? Where does Khaldun and Kirun come from?
I agree. I think that you ran into limits with Nazgul. There's 9. You
Yeah.
can't have more than 9. It
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense. But you do have evil men. I mean, I know Gothmog, right? But like Ukthak, Ugluk, you know what I mean? All of these random orcs, you can pump out 8 more of those.
Yeah, exactly. Easy, But they still have a lot. They have the rights to a lot of things, right?
I mean, I don't know what all the rights they have, but like we
don't know where the limit is.
And you could pump out a Morgoth. You know what I mean? If you wanted to go like deep into lore.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they probably come on.
I don't know
They
if they
promised
have
the
the IP
Balrog
for
and
the
never
lore.
released. They promised Balrog and never released. Come on.
Yeah, but again, if I want to go to a previous point that I said, again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel in this case. I mean, you can just, like the Legolas case, no one knew. Again, it was in a small part of the update, and when I saw it, I freaked out, and I said, what the fuck? I mean, what are they doing? We didn't see that in PBE, and after the update hit, I had like 10, 15 people asking me, so Legolas now is decent? And I said, yeah. But no one knew.
I mean-
They didn't advertise that.
They made a lot of changes after PBE ended to commanders without actually having it in PBE. And they also did a couple bug fixes after PBE ended that
Yeah, but bug fixes is a thing, but again, giving another damage skill to a fan favorite commander, like they did a great job on Saruman. Now Saruman is, again, you could have released 2 chests, one for Legolas and one for Saruman. That would have been free money. And again, as Jack said, you can make more money out of everything. Like, I don't like skins in most games, but I would pay a lot of money for an all-white Beorn skin.
Let's
It's
go.
just
Yeah.
really, it's really.
Why you can sell skins again for $20 for a skin of a commander? I know it's useless, but it's cool. I mean, the ideas that you can make money out of it, it's crazy. Like the new profile pic that I got from the community store, the Sauron one, I spammed everything, the post from the community that I have the new Sauron profile picture that I love.
I mean, I still have my Hobbit frying pan for my Galadriel with my best in slot siege gear. The little knickknacks like that kind of are cool looking back. The 1-year coin, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Everything they do is just so counterintuitive. I can't think about it very long because I just get frustrated. So I
They're
just
either making so much money that they don't care, or they either are so incompetent at doing this job that they don't even care about money, in my opinion.
I wish we could find and see like some Asian streamers from like China, right? I would love to see some streamers playing this game over in that market and see what is happening.
How can we do that?
I have Chinese friends. I'll tell you right away. They don't play this game because it's a Western game.
People that do, though, I would be curious to see what's happening. The ones that do.
I mean, this company in their country, I won't say that name, it's considered, they call it the pig farm. So, again, they consider it as the worst mobile gaming company in their country.
That may be the case, but the reality is they're one of the top gaming companies in the world. Must be,
because mobile gaming, you pay, you develop at $1 and you get 100. But again, this game didn't make enough money like other games like Rock or like Age of Empires will do. Even if Age of Empires is I really don't like that game for mobile.
There's just so much they could do. There's so much they could
but
do.
they have so much money that they don't care. Again, it's...
I think
that there wasn't a single person in 1.0, like I can't think of any player who would have said, hey, we hate this game, please change it completely and don't ask us what you will do. Like that, it just doesn't make sense. Like,
I know. That's what I keep saying.
What I think is for some reason they decided to change the developing team that was working on it. Maybe it's because of I don't know, budget cuts, or the main team was moved to because those guys were pretty good, so they could have been changed to a bigger project, so they got some.
Certainly wouldn't have been Diablo Immortals.
Sorry?
The Diablo mobile.
Could have been that one you said?
About the right time.
Yeah, true. Could have been.
That came out in development right around the time Ranges Rise came out.
Yep. So it could have been, it could have been that. It could have been that, and then they put a minor team, and it's maybe that team doesn't care about feedback to to the players or from the community to kind of to take the game to a better direction. That's what it really it comes down to, I think.
Because we initially, whenever they released the update, didn't get the 16 hammers from the new PvE, and then there was the outrage, and then you had 16 hammers.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, a lot better than nothing, but it's not like a huge bounty like a King's Ransom.
Yeah, but again, I saw that not as a gift, but like I don't know, it's like the king throwing out pieces of bread to the starving people.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of thing that's why I feel it's more like a disconnect between whoever is developing now, and who was before, I feel.
You're gonna cut this whole entire chat from the video when you post it, huh?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say I figured this was gonna be.
There's no way they're gonna be here on 4 hours. I mean, I know some people are watching whatever, and I hope you enjoy it. But this is all getting cut. Whatever we've been talking about, 100%. Hey, Maddox, you wanna after this? You got time, or you gotta go?
It's 1:45 a.m. But I have some time. Yeah, we can do it if you want.
Let's do it tomorrow. No, I don't want to keep you up.
Okay.
It may take like 2 hours.
Porky, I'm calling you, Daddy. Yes, I'm calling you.
A Porky join.
Denethor, you're the one that bought Duck Assassin's account, right?
Yep.
Did I ask you what he paid for it when we chatted in PvE, or no? If I didn't, how much did he sell it for? You said.
It's confidential.
He doesn't want it out there, or you don't want it out there?
No, because it is a game policy that it's not possible to buy accounts or sell them.
I didn't say you bought or sold. I just said you're the one that got it.
No.
Anyway,
yeah,
you can message. You can message.
Mm-hmm.
let me know. I was curious.
Well, all right,
Yes,
guys.
it's kind of late for me, guys. I'll have to go to bed.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you,
we're
everyone.
gonna.
Thank you, Jax, G-Unit, Harbinger. Also, I
Oh,
think
jeez, why is this up like this?
Sam got away.
Did he, or
Yeah.
is he just muted?
It's a long stream, bro. Yeah, what are we doing next week?
I'll tip join back up.
What are we doing next week?
Hello, hello.
Bye, TP. I miss you.
That's a good question,
Hello?
Jax. I haven't planned next week's lives yet.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, we can.
We got to do that. Are we doing the season award show for our season? Or
Yeah,
not?
that's actually what we should do next Friday.
Shit, we'll already be out of the season by that time.
Yeah,
huh?
but that's okay. I mean, I'll make sure to get all the stats and stuff before in screenshots and
we
stuff.
can do that. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I got 3 days to do it, so we'll do it over the
Curious.
weekend.
How's it going over in the Gaia versus Aces season? If there's any Aces in there.
Oh, are you still streaming or no?
Yeah, he is.
He is. Oh, so no cussing. It's all right. I mean, I would say the transition for Gaia to RP or from RP,
Yeah.
kind of interesting. They didn't know some very like key NRP tips.
Yeah.
Not giving free advice, but like very general example here was like they failed their very first 900.
Stop giving free advice.
I listen. They failed their first 900k pass, not
Yeah.
because of any kind of issue with their builds, but because they didn't take the necessary steps you should be taking in RP on a day one in order to make sure you can make an important siege.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't know that. But as far as like the rest of the server, pretty stale.
Yeah.
It's a friendly PvP arena. I think it's pretty clear that they just don't have the firepower that we do, mainly because they just don't have Saurons.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Other than that, really cool bunch of guys, just really stale, honestly.
Yeah. How long you guys got? Quite a bit left, right?
Yeah, we have a very long time. Hopefully next season we can get a nice matchup. You know, maybe a 2v8, maybe a 2v10, something that seems fair. You know. So, we'll see.
Hey, better than this.
Yeah, anything's better than this, man.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls, let's close up then. I'll make sure to cut the second part out, but yeah.
Quick question for you guys before we all run.
All right.
How do y'all feel about the most recent update?
The one about the passes?
Yeah, the passes and the gear.
I don't even know what it is. What is it?
Oh
What's-
my gosh!
All right,
It's the
hold on.
worst change in
Let
3
me
years.
run it out. Let me run it out real quick before you start bitching, Tip, because I already know how you feel. I don't care about your opinion. So basically, what it is you now unlock your gear based on level. So you get your like armor. You start with a weapon. You get your armor at level.
No, it's your
10.
helmet. Your helmet.
You get your helmet at level 10, you get your armor at level 20, you get whatever your accessory at level 25, and then your unique at level 30.
Damn. So wait a minute. You can't put on gear for some of these slots at all until you get to these levels. Or
Correct.
what?
Yep.
And then the kicker on top of that is now passes are locked to season progress. So you can't do like, I mean, we busted out of our pass. You know, I know, like day 2 against Maddox when he was on, like when it was the Order versus Aces, we broke out with just Aces on day 2.
Yeah.
I know, like Iron and Bear got it on day 1,
Yeah.
and then I know that like we busted out of the longer or the bigger passes on like day 3. So they linked it to server progress now, which is
So, yeah, my prevailing theory is that I mean, okay, I'm not trying to toot the Ace's horn, but I mean, I guess I'll role play myself for a second. I think that they did see some of the progresses across specific servers. One of those servers being ours, and they decided, hey, this is too fast. I think that's going to allow like kind of lower tier teams, and no offense, to have a more even playing field, where like very high end teams can't go from Mordor to Karos in 2 days. Those regions are going to be kind of on an equal grasping field for everybody, which is probably a good change, even though I absolutely despise it.
People are going to be running with a lot of 60s and 90s.
Yeah, that is the thing. Is with what is it? 260s or 230s, 260s, and 300s are no longer in starting regions. That
What?
is yeah. I think it might be. Is it just 260s?
No, there's no 260s in. It's 230s and below are in starting region now. They have managed to fix some of the regions that they had previously by rearranging where the passes were, allowed them to be there.
The only thing, I don't think you guys in the UD server had this start. Correct me if I'm wrong. But at our start, Mordor and Lothlorien both started with a pass. I wonder if they're going to revert that in light of this ceiling, because if they don't, that makes those two factions specifically extremely strong, because they are going to essentially have an extra entire
I think
region.
they already patched that in one of the most recent ones. I saw some notes on it. It was
interesting.
It was due to like some coding issue with like where things start
cool.
or regions owned.
All right. So that's it, huh?
That's it. The game's getting little slower and slower for us.
Well, I mean, rather than short seasons, they're trying to slow the pace down.
Yeah.
Essentially, right? Like rather than change it from 60 to 40 days, and then just let us, because I mean, most of our servers have been well decided by 40 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so rather than do that, they just want to increase the build-up time. It also could be one of the things with, I think, like age, like China specifically, they tried to crack down on the amount of time that you can spend like on mobile gaming,
Right.
and slowing the game down further accommodates less playtime per day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It does. All right.
The
Well,
changes
guys.
were wild.
What?
I said the changes were wild.
Well, I mean, you guys are now. I mean, do you guys have? You guys don't have that issue now, do you? It's only going to be applied to new servers, right?
Correct.
Right.
So yeah.
But I stuck one of my alts in a new server, like just started it up. And man, not having like your accessory until level 20 or something like that, and it's gonna be a rough start.
Yeah.
Just makes Scal even better.
Love it, Tip.
Yeah.
Also, I can't believe y'all put Gandalf the White so low.
It's the best relic in the game. Oh my gosh.
I don't know about all that.
No, the thing is, so the reason why, going back to the explanation, the reason why he was so low is because we were analyzing it from a full power potential. Tip did explain, for just 10 Mithril, you have 2 instances of White Council wiped away. And we're gonna come back. I'm gonna revisit this probably in a shorter video a little bit in the future, talking about the best relics from a different perspective. In this case, we're just analyzing full power. Where do they rank? So
I mean, if you told me I could only have one relic in the game, like if I had enough mithril to max one relic and I could only max one relic, and that was the only relic I had, Gandalf the White would be the relic I would pick.
Why?
100%. Yeah, 100% agree.
Because those 2 extra instances of damage every round, by round 3, like if you don't have Gandalf the White's relic, then if they have taunt units, then White Council is gonna last until round 4, guaranteed.
I think you would pick Skalham's relic though.
My question is though.
I would. If I can only have one.
Question is though, why would you? The thing is, why would you refine that if the refines won't do you what just unlocking will do for you? How much damage do you get? Sorry.
the base value of Gandalf the White's relic is higher than most, if not all, relics max.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The two, the value you get from just unlocking it is much higher. That per comparison, per how much money you gotta put, it's much higher just to unlock it than to actually refine it.
But if you told me that I would have, if you told me that I could pick between having, like, if I could pick between having Gandalf the White's relic or having a fully refined Dain relic, I would pick Gandalf the White.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that. Yeah.
Interesting.
The only thing I will say, although I think you were kind of asking it, a fully refined Gandalf the White relic, I did play with an account for 3 seasons, running a max refined obsidian, max refined pipe with a max refined relic. Only using maxed out white, it was C10, so it was 10 points in a white, 1 point in wizard, so pre-respect changes. I would say average was like 70k. You could, like lows were like 45, 50, occasional report at 90. So nothing crazy, right? But nothing horrible.
No. I mean, I'm all for that. I run my Gandalf to them here. My Gandalf the White. I mean, he's the only commander I push at Z10 because every point is used well on a Z10 Gandalf the White because you get you get the level 5 wizard with the -10, a defense. Yeah. But I'm really looking for the focus damage there, right? So, and my relic is. I think it's 4 levels refined. Yeah, because I'm at 40%. And it's incredible. I mean, 3. It's incredible. I love. I mean, I've been doing, because I'm running only Dain as my damage dealer. There are cases where my Gandalf is doing 80,000-90,000 of damage.
Yeah, it is.
Right. So I totally agree with the base value of Gandalf the White's relic. Of his relic. I just don't think that going full refine is actually needed. Let's see, you get 1 million points from unlocking it.
But now I'm gonna ask you another question. So you're saying you're getting what, 25,000 damage out of Gandalf the White's relic?
I have to see. I don't think it's that high, but I have to see.
It's probably like 15 at max.
But even then, how much are you getting out of Dain's, and how much more value are you getting out of Gandalf the White's because of how the damage is applied?
I mean, Dain's Durin's blood with plus 15%, that's pretty rough.
But you're probably not going to have it at 15% for the first one. If you get stunned twice, you're not going to have, or if you get like a Sauron 2-round stun, you're not going to have a third one, so you're only getting it once.
Fair. You're only getting that round 8. Yeah, you're only getting that round 8 plus 15%. That round 5 one's not going to be at 15%.
Let's see what we get here. Let's go towards the later rounds to see if we get we can.
And the reason I think we're hashing this out is because Harb and I argued for probably almost an hour and a half last night about it. And I think the two sides of the coin are you either place high value at low refine or you place high value at high refine. And Harb was placing high value at low refine, and I was placing high value at high refine.
Yep. That's why. And Harb and Tip told me. You told me this earlier.
Yeah.
That is why I want to revisit this exactly with that what you said there. What's the best value at low refine? And I know this would change. A lot of these would change because some of them only have a lot of value if it's really it's at the top. So you got a few
I'm
here.
just saying, my whole argument is that white at low refine's better than Dain's at a high refine.
That might be a hot take, but yeah.
You get more value. I'm telling you. I've seen accounts that had like Z6 Dains and like R8 Whites, and I've seen the difference in their reports when they get to R10 and they get the relic.
Let's see here. Give me a second here.
Oh, fellow, I'm assuming before I joined you had mentioned I put King of the Dead as meta.
Yeah.
Can Tip stop representing me?
Bro.
Also, Tip, you're missing your chance to uproot Dixon. Hurry up.
Dude, I haven't logged in 2 hours, bro.
I fucking know you haven't done anything. I've been
I've
trying
been
to
waiting
get
on
you to do
troops.
for 3 seasons.
All it is Tip sit on this fellowship fortress for 24 hours. That one's done. Oh, Tip, go sit on this one for 24 hours. And then a week later, it's Tip, why are you only 40th in merit? Maybe because I've been sitting on a fellowship fortress for 48 hours.
Maybe it's because you're actually useful, because if you sit on the fortress, you're doing something versus just sitting on a random tile that no one wants.
So look, just to give you guys a little bit of background. So I'm looking at round 6. Gandalf the White is hitting the red ring. He's reading the Swan Knights for 608 focus. So
But what are you hitting though?
I'm hitting a Swan Knight.
No. But what commander?
Sorry?
What commander?
Gandalf the White. What do you mean, what commander?
How much command does that Gandalf the White have, and how much like what's the added parts of it, right?
So let me
Like, if
see
you
here.
hit a
It's Sauron. I'm hitting Swan Knights from the Sauron formation. So the Sauron here has 487 command.
Does it have divide and conquer?
No, he actually has War Cry and Lore of Arcane.
Just blew up in my mouth.
So I mean, I get it. I mean, probably a full refine he's gonna be doing. I mean, my Gandalf at this point is.
Well, I mean, you're doing like what, 30% less damage as well because you're hitting a higher commander. So I mean, you'd be doing 1,000 at 3 refined.
Yeah.
You're doing, if you pump it up another 50%, right? So you're gonna be doing 1,500. You do 1,500 focus 10 times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I could see. I do want to see what the added bonus is from Dain's though. I don't know. I think his damage output on average will be higher than that. But I mean, again, guys, I get
100%, and it's definitely fully stacked by round 3 unless you get insanely unlucky, especially with all the shadows and the Sarumans running around. So, like that's not comparable. Yeah.
You're just wrong.
I'm taking Eunice's side here, bro. I only agree with you because you said you could only have 1 relic. And I disagree in general, though.
Dude, it's so not. It's by round 3.
You sound like me, dude. You're sounding like me. That's your issue. You're
by
trying
round 3, I mean, if you have Swan Knights, how many times is that Dain getting hit in the first 2 rounds?
Listen, if you sound like me trying to talk about 1.0 gear on a Sildor, then I would not,
But just play it out. If you're fighting a Beorn, Sauron, White, and Dain, all right, and you have Swan Knights, all right, on your Sauron or White, how many times is that Dain getting touched before round 3?
I mean, only a few.
So I'm thinking you got an Ironfoot, or not an Ironfoot, a King Under the Mountain. You might get hit with a Wizard. You might catch in round 3 one of Sauron's Lord of Gifts.
That's what I say, handful. Maybe 5, maybe.
You can catch the incursion round 1 for Beorn if it doesn't get madness. You could catch it in round 3 as well. But I mean,
so maybe 5 times, which is enough to stack the relic, right?
I mean, yeah, but potential.
Oh my God,
you got 3 AoE events before then.
And it's formation, so in the Gil army it works as well, because if the commander gets hit, it stacks, and when the troop gets hit, it stacks, right?
Okay, I forgot about that. Yep. All right, I'll back off that argument. You'll have it.
You sound like me, dude.
Forgot about that. I forgot it was formation and not commander.
Yeah.
There you go. So I think we'll probably get it. We could get it sooner than. But either way, I like the perspective you guys brought in, because it does help us create a more, a clear vision when we talk about, if we're gonna tell people, look, these are the top 10 relics you should you should invest on for low spenders or the best bang for your buck. Then you can create this pretty clear line. Of advice for people, because people will put stuff in. I don't know how careful people are in 2.0, 2.5, whatever you want to call it, because I remember in 1.0 people were just putting things randomly and just random. I mean, this is like 6 months into the game, into the release of the game.
I've seen like things strengthened, like relics strengthened with like protections of Numenor and with like Khazad-dûm, and it makes my eyes bleed. Also, I just want you to know, Tip, that I did bring up on stream the fact that Scalhelm's relic has speed on it, and that the fact it has initiative on it is a
Literally
huge added value.
Yeah, literally top 5. If that shit was, I actually haven't looked at the list that you finalized, but if Scals is not in meta, I am uninstalling, bro. I swear.
You might as well leave the Discord, Tip.
Oh my god, there's no
No. You can look now. We moved it for you. There you go. We'll make it.
Okay, cool. There's no shot that is not in meta. It's literally impossible.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few things. I think there are a few nuances to. I mean, just considering what you guys just said there. Looking at the current meta, I probably move Gandalf the White up to meta. Because.
Yeah, it just depends like how you look at it, right?
Yeah.
If you say out of which relics do you get the most value when you fully refine them? I don't think like Gandalf the White is that good fully refined, right? So,
I agree.
But I mean, unlocking it for 10 mithril, that's a must for any good NRP formation.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm still intrigued. Like, even though Legolas, looking at the relic on its own, Legolas looks pretty nice. But I just haven't seen Legolas consistently do the same number of damage I see Lurch do, which it's nuts because Legolas has.
I've seen a Legolas hit 200k.
Okay, but answer this first. Was it against a counter unit?
No, it was NRP standard mixed unit, and it was beside a Dain. The Dain, I think, got stun rate and like only did like 90,000, but still, it did 90,000.
So that's the first time of hearing Legolas doing 200k damage.
Yeah, I have been peeling through reports for Legolas, and I recently, because we had an Aces member who took a little trip. I played a account with what is it hard Z5 Z6 Zenith max refined relic Legolas with max refined gear, fully strengthened, but it was a reach, not an axe. And I would say over that week of PvP, I would say the peak report I saw was like 180, 184, 182, something in the 180s. I think it was averaging probably a genuine 120.
Yeah, that's
next
rough.
To a Dain. But I would say I see Lurtz at max refine doing better than Legolas. Because there is a guy member, Beorn the Kraken, who does have a max refine Lurtz. And I see so many reports of his Lurtz doing 180, 190, 203. I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's effectively the same thing, but I think.
Well, I mean, I've seen some high Saruman reports too. He looks very promising.
Yeah.
I think Saruman's relic's better than both of theirs, but I think.
I agree on that, but
Lurtz gains more from the relic refines than I think Legolas does.
I gotta see if I screenshotted that 200 Lego. I don't remember if I did or not. I got a 175 Scowl Helm. I got a couple 160 Scowl Helms.
Yeah.
Where is... Did I not screenshot that? I got a 248 Dain.
Oof.
I just cleared my camera roll. That also might have wiped it. It was like a 204, 203, something like that, Lego. And it was against like a decent competition.
I think he's okay. I think that my opinion on Legolas is like very high when I saw the announcement change. I think it was Dark Nimbus last stream that brought up the incursion thing with Sauron. I think that was the one thing that kind of bumped Legolas, honestly, slightly more for me, regardless of a third damage skill.
Well, my whole problem with Legolas is I don't like skills with 2-round cooldowns. Like, if you get hit with a single Sauron stun, regardless of anything, like if you have like
it's a 30% damage reduction for a 2-round skill, right? Because you instantly lose 1 out of the 3 that you get. If you have a bunch of 1-round cooldown skills, then you only lose 20% because it's 1 of your 5, right?
Yeah,
so you're
should change for the 1 round.
Well, I mean, like, Legolas has 2, right? So you're losing 1/3 of 2/3 of your damage. I know that that's like a lot of like percentages and shit there, but like, it's one of those things where when you have that, like, if anything goes wrong, your damage is gonna go down the shitter. Because like you see that with Dain all the time. I mean, how many war reports?
100%, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you'll see Dain dealing 60,000 damage, and you're like, "What happened? Oh, he got hit with the Sauron stun."
I mean, not since my little gear change. I haven't seen that once this week.
Buddy, you're still a shitter. I don't want to hear it.
I have not gotten stunned one time.
Because you're not doing anything.
Bro, what do you mean? Look at weekly merit right now. Look at it now.
I can't see under me. You're too far down.
I despise you, bro. I despise you.
Y'all see what I deal with all the time.
All right, well, guys, that's gonna do it. We've been here for just a little bit longer than we anticipated, but it was good talking to you guys. By the way, probably next week we're gonna do what Jackson and I were talking about now. We're gonna do our end of season award show. Come, because there's a lot of cool things, a lot of players to give shout out to. Kind of give you guys a full scope of how the season went, and hopefully prepare for a future season where aces and youths will battle it off. Wouldn't that be wouldn't that be a fun thing?
Purgatory.
What?
I said, don't tempt me with an escape from purgatory. We are uprooting. Hey, Ted, come uproot Dixon. Have some fun. Live your life. I know you'll.
He will. Dude, he will give me another heinous roll and that's what it is.
All right, so let me just see here really quick. Give me a second. We've been here for almost double the time we usually are. All right, guys. We'll see what we got here. We got Porky still here. We got Jay Kane. What's up, Darkness? Man, you just hopped on as soon as we're hopping off. Dread Shane. All right, don't forget, next Friday, we're back here. End of season award show. Probably some other cool stuff to talk with you guys. But in the meantime, don't forget, okay, leave your comments in the Discord. So Scar helped me create a new section here with a polling and a voting booth and a suggestion. So I'm gonna start, asking you guys what you think, how the game could be improved. No worries, brother. How the game can be improved, the commanders and yada yada. And we can vote on them. Go ahead.
How long do you have?
Oh, me no.
I got days of content on how this game can be improved.
Oh my god, me too, bro. Me too.
well, we're gonna bring it up in future videos and stuff, because I don't know. It feels like whenever we either do an uproar on the official Discord or people make videos about the issues, it seems like either it's the only time they see or the only time they care, because the issues are getting exposed, So maybe that's what we're gonna have to do to hopefully get some nice changes for us. All right, guys, I want to thank everybody who was on today. See who we have here. We still have Sam. I appreciate you, my friend, coming on. Harb, G Unit still on, and Tip. Also want to thank Scar, Thanatos, and Jax. I'm not missing anyone else, am I? I think we covered everybody.
Jax.
And Jax, yeah. Okay.
Later, guys.
You guys take care and have a great weekend. Peace.